Hello and welcome to the Lyrical Analysis Podcast. My name is Amo Panasar and I'm joined by the Metal Elder, aka my father, Sat Panasar.
Hello.
My very good pal, the Tempest, aka Stuart Wilkie.
Hello.
And another very good pal of mine, Mr. Sensitive, aka Dimitri.
Liking these names. Hi.
Dimitri Johnson. And now, listeners, I'm sure you're all thinking, what the hell is this Lyrical Analysis Podcast malarkey? Well, let me tell you. I felt for the longest time that there's an epidemic in music where if the beat of a song is good, people completely forget about the words they're actually listening to. And I'm no saint, I'm very much guilty of this from time to time, so I thought it'd be a good idea to go through and analyse the lyrics of some of the world's most popular artists and try and decipher exactly what message they're conveying. We'll be giving our honest opinions, and you may agree or disagree with this, but that's all part of the fun. The artist we'll be covering this week is the immensely popular Linkin Park. And in my introductory notes here, I've got Dimitri, seeing as you are new to the podcast.
Yeah.
Would you care to... Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Nice, I feel it.
Would you care to share our story of Linkin Park of last year?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. So, I think it was like a few weeks before the concert that you hit me up and you're like, dude, do you want to go and see Linkin Park? And I was like, yes, but I'm broke and I haven't listened to any of their new songs in a while.
I was like, neither have I, because I haven't listened to their... until this podcast, I kind of stuck away from their...
Okay.
Or the newer version of music because the first three albums are so good.
That's good to know.
They kind of went off the rails a little bit.
As much as I know of Linkin Park, I'm really more of their mainstream tracks are the ones that I know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, when we were teens and it was just like our lives
everywhere.
For a while.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's my fan base. So yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, but no, like you, I kind of fell out a bit after uni. So it's like in the last 3-4 years, I've not really been on their stuff. But you know, it's Linkin Park. I just said screw it. You had a spare ticket. Bought it off your friend who, sorry, I took your place. Also not sorry, 'cause come on. Yeah, so we go to the concert, really good time. We listened to all their songs, completely raged out. I can't remember how much I drank, but we somehow made it home.
Yeah.
And you, the loving person, bought me a t-shirt from the concert. I was like,
Hey.
I absolutely
A shout out to Analyse, aka... how many nicknames has she got now? It's Airs Face, Lovers in the Airs, and Wide Load. So, and that was actually...
That took a turn. Wow.
Nat was actually one of the people who helped me with the order of the songs in this podcast. So
This was
shout
your
out to
expert.
Nat.
This was your expert.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to wear that t-shirt today, so I thought, no, that's a bit too much.
I was going to, but I gymmed in it on Monday and it absolutely reeks. So
I picked it up this morning.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Supposed to go in the wash.
Had to wring
but-
it out a little bit, then put it in, yeah.
Anyway, so... Yeah, so that gig, Dimitri, carry on, was...
It was amazing. It was... I've always told myself I wanted to see them live, and we did, and forever cherish it. It was just really surprising to hear, I think it was a few months later?
No, it was not too long after.
Yeah, it was a few weeks later that we heard about Chester's passing, and that really just...
I think... I might be incorrect in this, but I'm pretty sure, because I checked with Nat, that was their last gig.
The very last one.
Before Chester sadly committed
Well,
suicide.
not just the one in Europe, because I thought it was last non-domestic one.
I thought the Birmingham gig was the last
I
ever
thought
gig.
there was a Manchester one before or after ours, but it didn't. No, ours was definitely the last one.
Well, if I check my
great.
facts, but to my knowledge,
Either
and
way.
double checking with Nat, I think it could have been their last gig. Well, it was at least one of their last
It's
gigs.
definitely
Yeah,
is one of
yeah.
them.
And I lose
Look,
was
but in the end, it doesn't really matter.
Oh, Dad, you can't.
Terrible timing.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
No, it's a what is it? Not poetic. It's a
bittersweet.
tribute.
Yes.
A tribute to the
It
man.
is,
It's an
yeah.
homage.
And
Okay.
the weird thing was though, seeing them live was on my bucket list. So to hear that happen, it was
Same.
like,
Oh.
yeah. Like my mom and I were driving on the road for 3 hours, and we just played all their albums,
Yeah.
and she loves them as well. So
I think we were extremely lucky to obviously catch Chester before he obviously committed that. So
yeah, man,
it was just, it was a weird few weeks actually. But
definitely was.
let's get into the words themselves, the lyrics.
Them words.
So I'm going to do this in sort of album order. So obviously first album is Hybrid Theory. And we're going to start off with the classic track that is In the End. So where to begin here? So I'm going to go with the second verse, everyone. Unless anyone's got any first verse analytics. And I'm thinking Dad has definitely got some.
I've got a few highlights
from them.
here.
Go on then.
It's this thing about time. You know, time is finite, and we have a wealth of opportunities.
Is that paragraph 1 or 2 on the verses? Because I've got that for verse 2.
Verse 2?
All I know, oh, you've got it in some weird order.
Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you go.
Oh,
Go on,
sorry.
go on,
No.
Linda.
Let's rewind. You go.
All right,
I
second
don't think
verse.
I got a space there.
Yeah,
Do I
we've
need
got
a
the
space there?
Yeah, you do.
So this is paragraph 2. Okay.
Okay, so second verse is, all I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock ticks life away. It's so unreal. And
Couldn't resist, could
so
you?
you can't. You just can't, can you?
I'd hit you if you
So with that, I've got, again, like Dad said, the concept of time being finite and that you shouldn't waste it. And I've said in adulthood, this is extremely relatable. But to teenagers, because this Linkin Park broke a lot of boundaries. Like being a sort of a new metal rock band, they were just a mainstream.
They appeal to everyone.
Yeah, they're mega success.
I always thought that Linkin Park were quite odd because they were very, very unique. They didn't really fit into one specific music genre.
Not
They
at
kind
all,
of
no.
blended, mainly because they had a good element of like rap, sort of like
With Mike Shinoda.
Yeah, so I mean, they kind of like blended into a lot of different cultures.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
They were
Don't
very
forget the
innovative
video
like
as
that.
well for this. Like for the actual song itself, it was just very cinematic overall. Like the cinematography was beautiful. I loved it all.
I think
Very
if I
engaging.
remember correctly, a lot of good effects for that time as well. When did this come out? In the end, like
Ooh, I've got dates.
2000.
Thank you,
So
Dad.
2000.
There
It
you
felt
go.
very 90s.
Yeah. I was expecting like 99, 98 maybe,
Yeah,
but no, 2000. Fair enough.
Do you know, not to rock the boat, guys, but
yeah.
I never really got into Linkin Park.
That's not.
You were going through a
Like
phase back
grungy
then.
metal.
You were going through a phase back then of, old metal is the best metal. And I was
still
like,
is.
but Dad,
Still
the
is.
new metal is the best metal.
I mean, come on, I like Slipknot and System of a Down.
Yeah, but I think this was before. Like you were still like, I was still rebelling by liking R&B, and then I was coming back around thanks to Nickelback and liking new metal. And I wasn't giving Iron Maiden the chance.
I can't believe the word
Led
sentence
Zeppelin.
thanks to Nickelback came out.
Were you on Nickelback before or after Spider-Man? Like when that song came out, it was just like everyone was on.
When was How You Remind Me? Was that before that?
I think it was just before.
How You Remind Me was the track.
Oh.
Then I saw Spider-Man. I was like, God damn, these guys got talent. And then I just went through the entire discography, Flat on the Floor, and all the sort of tracks were great.
I need to watch
Saving Me.
essays of why people don't like Nickelback. I don't fully quite get it.
Old Nickelback is great. New Nickelback is trash.
Fair enough.
Utter
I'll
awfulness.
find
You're
it.
sounding like me.
No, but that.
Back in the old
Right.
days of the 90s.
Hey, I like new stuff too.
What's the new metal stuff like? What's 2018 metal music scene like?
Newest thing I've listened to is, I've just got into Bullet for My Valentine.
Is that
Which
like
is-
still?
but-
Are they still
but
going?
they've got new
Scene, like,
you have to ask like, do they still exist?
Yeah, they do.
yeah, it's
Their new
kinda-
album's really good. Disturbed have just dropped a new track, new album 2 days ago,
Oh,
which is
okay.
fantastic.
See-
And their other recent album, released last year, was fantastic.
This is very interesting
So-
because it's a blind spot to me because I just don't know a lot about that kind of.
Slipknot released a new live album from Mexico. Friggin' great.
Man.
So let me just drop these knowledge bombs on you guys. Also, Trivium recently as well. They've released some good stuff.
Good to
Cool.
see you're still on it.
Oh
Yes.
man, Spotify
He's
with
not
their new
becoming his dad.
algorithms. No, because Spotify will not let you miss new music and
No,
will not
no,
let
they-
you
Yeah.
stay in the same genre for too long.
Okay.
Because I'm the kind of person who will play the same track that I love repeatedly until I get bored of it, and then I'll move on to something else. I'm always constantly trying to strive to find new music.
Which is good.
So yeah.
Yeah, but
Anywho, so because of Linkin Park's massive success, they appeal to teenagers as well.
Yeah.
So this song about time being finite, it surprises me that teenagers would relate to this because when you're young, you think you've got all the time in the world. You think you've got
really,
Yeah,
I would have said the opposite. Like when you're a teen, or at least for me and a lot of my friends, I guess because we were listening to that music, we always felt like, you know what, there isn't enough time. Everything's too stressful.
Yeah.
I want to do this now, but I have all these pressures and lack of control, and that's why I think a lot of Linkin Park songs kind of like resonate with teens. I would have thought they were the main audience, to be fair.
I'm only getting those feelings now in adulthood.
You were
So-
such a happy
No,
teenager. You didn't have the teenage angst.
That
Like,
did a
what's
good
all
job.
going
Yeah,
to
that did well.
Because I think you poor guys are connected 24/7 with
Oh, yeah.
social media, internet
Cool
and
names.
stuff. Me
That means
growing
they're
up,
all good friends constantly.
so me growing up, we the sort of most connected we were was the old telephone landline. You know, that was
They don't
the
exist.
ultimate
Yeah,
connection.
No one has landline anymore.
I was gonna say, anyone born in the year 2000
One with
does not
cords
know what
and stuff.
landline is, do they?
No,
Let's be
they
honest.
know
What's
your
an 012
phone.
on them?
It's the brick you hold.
Yeah, man.
It's got a wire.
So I think you guys are wired for, you know,
We're actually
it's many.
wireless.
I need to
Your
go to that.
Bluetooth.
All right, so I found that quite interesting, and then we'll move on because I think we're taking a long time to get through
Yes.
this. So next lyric I've got in the third verse is "I wasted it all just to watch you go." I'm guessing breakup.
Yep.
Yeah.
Relationship. Yeah.
Now, next verse, fourth verse, watch you go. I kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard. So I kept everything inside. Regrettably, I've been in a situation where I could tell that relationship was on the rocks. So I withheld some of the things that I was feeling to try and salvage it. And I think when a relationship is in the rocks, or is on the rocks, I should say, I think the person who wants it more will try and do that. So
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people that is... Again, these lyrics I've got... I've said to someone earlier that these lyrics are simple, yet deep and relatable. Because they're not difficult to understand. They're just sort of... They're in your face. And a lot of people can sort of relate to these experiences.
And every word out of his mouth is clear and concise. Like you're
Yeah.
not thinking, oh, what did he just say?
Yeah, it's not layered in metaphors at all. And it's even
Exactly.
said in the title of the song in the end.
Yeah.
It's basically futility, in it?
So I thought that was a really just...
So
sort of
why
simple-
try?
That's that. That's that.
Moving on to the I tried bit, so...
They never really say that, like, there's no point
Yeah.
in
That's that
trying.
point. Yeah, that's true.
It's like, try. It didn't work out. Just
Yeah.
keep
try.
going.
You know, time's
tried so
valuable. I'm going to chase this girl. But hey, it doesn't matter.
Or this dream, you know? It's not always necessarily a girl. It could be a guy.
That's
true.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I think even though these songs I think are quite sad and depressing a lot of the time, there always seems to be sort of a layer of hope. I don't know if you found that, but
It's very
not.
human, isn't it? It's very
Yeah.
much like, okay, this the deepest, darkest,
Yeah.
remnants of his soul are being poured out into these songs, but it's still basically, okay, I'm still writing them, I'm still
Yeah.
making more music, I'm still trying to get a positive message despite all this horrible stuff.
Like when listening to them, I don't feel like say if I'm sad and I'm listening to them, I don't feel like I'm getting more sad. I feel like it's sort of uplifting in a way. It's a very weird thing, despite how.
No,
sort of
I agree.
downbeat
I think it's
the
because the
lyrics are.
hook and the tune, it's you go with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good way to release, isn't it? Like to sort of, it's
The
good, it's
fast,
up tempo as well. So
Yeah.
this could, I suppose it could be played in clubs, but it's a little bit of a different.
Uproar.
It was.
It does.
was.
Yeah, I
it's
guess.
uproar,
Yeah,
man.
man. New metal night, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking for that half glass full moment in this song, and I was a bit disappointed I didn't really see it because we've had the bleak side, and I was looking for the upward curve and an uplifting end.
Yeah. I find it interesting though, like with this song, I would listen to a lot of Linkin Park stuff when I was feeling down or low, but at no point...
Rule Dimitri, no tapping on the
Oh,
table.
sorry.
That's
Oh my-
that's the Tempest
his.
rule.
Okay, just hands me on my back. Yeah.
The Tempest tap. Damn it.
I would listen to these songs and whatnot, and it wouldn't like make me more depressed. It would either keep me where I'm at or just kind of like encourage me. I find
Yeah.
it motivating, and I think because you're a teen and the lyrics itself, it empathises with what you're going through. That was the positivity you needed, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you think that's across the board? Do you think sort of teenagers listening to it generally
Oh,
were
no.
uplifted and
No, not everyone. I don't think so.
I think, yeah, it's different depending on the person, I'd imagine. But I found this kind of stuff to be decent gym music. Like if you're running
It is
around
good
Oh,
training,
it's
It's
brilliant.
great
I mean,
music.
a bit of in the end while you're trying to do a 2K.
okay? Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Go for
Go
it.
ahead.
Go on.
Well, it's not so fun, really. You
can't hype it and then drag
just
it
label
down.
it as fun fact, right? So, in March 2001, a 15-year-old schoolboy called Charles Williams, obsessed with Linkin Park songs, walked into school with a shotgun, shot two of his classmates dead,
Not
injured about 13, and the note he left for his father highlighted the two lyrics from this song. I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
But that just seems
So-
like a really cowardly way to, cover up your murder, though, isn't it? To blame it on a song lyric.
Oh yeah, but
I mean,
I'm just saying
you know
that
what I
was
mean?
his not quite suicide note,
Yeah,
but it was
his-
his.
Same guy that shot up a cinema and claimed he wanted to be the Joker. These people just are crazy and they want to use something as an excuse, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not the first time this has happened. It happened to Judas Priest. They had a lawsuit against them.
Really?
Yeah,
What?
for some lyric in stained class.
I can imagine like Marilyn Manson's probably had a few as well.
Ozzy
like,
Osbourne.
Ozzy
Oh,
Osbourne,
yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
So
But I thought to
Not common.
actually,
single them out.
leave two sort of like lines of this song for his father to read.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
quite
hate when
interesting.
crazy people try to be poetic and like leave clues as they do
Because they don't want to go out as crazy.
Yeah.
They kind of want someone to understand them. And I guess like with this, if they're not reaching out to their parent, they're reaching out to other people who are like, I don't know, resonate with those words. Very bad. Very, very bad.
I would like to have seen what like Chester's and the rest of the band's response to that was, though, because I'm sure they were aware of this kind of thing happening, and they would have liked to have put a positive spin on it and be like, this isn't what our music was for.
Yeah.
I just don't get that, because even when I'm sad and listening to these songs, it does uplift me.
Yeah.
And it's just very odd, because I think it has something to do with, like, even though the lyrics are about depressing things, they are about very sad moments in whoever's writing this life. But I think it's something to do with the melodies and the way the songs are structured, and there's always an underlying sort of feeling of hope in their songs. So it's very sad that someone like that would have taken two lines like that to use as like a suicide note almost, or a note of explanation or reasoning for what he did, because to me all these songs are underlined with hope, which is what you need to sort of continue.
Yeah. And I
In
guess
this
this guy
world.
misinterpreted it, really.
In a bit
Badly,
in a bad
yeah.
way.
Yeah, because I think Chester Bennington wrote it when he was growing up and he got picked on a lot.
Oh,
at school.
Chester's had, from what I understand, a very dark and
Troubled
trying,
childhood,
trying
Yeah.
past, man.
I was just saddened when I read all the lyrics and, his suicide, that I don't know if he did actually get some counselling, psychotherapy help.
Yeah.
I was just somewhat saddened that he didn't
Who, this
go
guy or
that way.
Chester.
Chester,
Yeah.
Well, both really.
Yeah.
So I was quite interested to hear you guys say that, they uplift you.
It's really
rather
odd,
than
isn't it?
kind of like...
It is, yeah.
But I think it's the music, it's a very upbeat sort of music and vibe
Yeah, it's
The
to go with the
chorus,
downbeat lyrics.
I think the verses are quite sort of, low and saddening, but then the chorus just brings you right back up.
yeah.
Which is that not just life, the ups and downs of life, the highs and lows? It's just,
And I think with this
relatable
song, like,
through and through.
more of this song, there are other songs, but like with the beat itself, if
Yeah.
you are depressed, it gives you that energy to kind of like do something about it.
Carry on.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
big time. So I think we're spending way too long on this song. So let's pick this up. So the next line after I kept everything inside that I like is a memory of a time when I tried so hard. So to anyone who's been in the position that I mentioned earlier, this is how you remember it, just as a time you tried so hard. And then in the end, it doesn't even matter. Time heals all wounds. And eventually this is how you will feel about any situation that has sort of given you any strife in the past. So I thought that was quite nice as well. So the chorus, again, that's the hope. Doesn't matter. You will get over it. You can become a better person for it, blah, blah, blah.
It's very British. Keep calm and carry on.
Don't trivialise the Linkin Park.
No, he's right.
You are right, you are right.
He's right. He's right.
I'm seeing all those basic banners everywhere. Just piss me off, man. Anyway, right. Moving on to the next bit, which I've
Remind me not
got.
to show you my second year film
What's it on?
called Keep Calm and Stay Calm.
Original.
I want to watch it.
That is trash of a title.
I'll show you.
What's it on?
Oh, you will talk after this.
Alright, cool. And then this is something I couldn't relate to in the song, which was the line, "In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property, remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so far." So thankfully I've never experienced this, which is being someone's property. And I'm guessing that's something to do with either Chester's or whoever wrote this song, whichever member of the band had like a sort
I
of
don't know.
a troubled past of some
Yeah.
sort, be it a relationship or sort of maybe a parental situation.
I think it
So-
was more parental, at least that's how I understood
Yeah.
it at first. Like when, I don't know, you just haven't got a good relationship with your parents and they kind of restrict your freedom in what you do or make you do something you don't want to. It's like, you
Yeah.
know what, you don't have a choice. You're the child. You are the object, I guess.
Property.
Yeah. I suppose it's a dark term, but I suppose this kind of lyrics sort of warrant that anyway. But for example, that could be something that can be interpreted for domestic abusers as well. Like
I was gonna bring that up, yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But it's weird, if they're saying it, it's the reverse song.
well,
Which
right,
is-
so, the victims of domestic abuse.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
should have said that. But, yeah, I think it could be related to that as well. Perhaps.
Very good point, well made. Next verse, I like the line, "So things aren't the way they were before. you wouldn't even recognise me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. So, going back to the whole breakup thing, I think it's all, you wouldn't even recognise me anymore. After breakups, people, assess, analyse, and evolve from it. So I think if they met, after how much time has passed, now you wouldn't even recognise me to that ex or that person that was in your life. So,
but it is almost said in a positive way. It's like you wouldn't even recognise me anymore because I'm so much better now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've always felt that sort of sense. Yeah.
And that's what you want. You want to be like the successful one or the winner.
You want to win. You want to win. You want to be the winner. There's a winner.
You don't want to see your ex looking scruffy and dishevelled and just tired as hell. You want to look like you've been to the gym, gone to the barbers, got that fresh trim.
100%.
I've moved on.
Yeah.
Money.
Yeah. Is that sad though, the fact that they're even like someone who really wants the best for their ex, they still have that primal need to be like, I want to be number one.
It's very difficult to not be competitive.
Yeah, but it's also you want to know like what we went through in the breakup. Although it hurt us both so much, I'm still good without you.
Yeah.
And we all want the best for
I guess
exes.
right.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And then
That's sensitive.
I'm very sensitive. But no, I wish the best for all like my previous partners, man.
Yeah.
It's just they mean a lot.
That's
to me.
very commendable.
Live and let live, eh?
Yeah.
Except for one.
I mean,
You know who you
Mr.
are.
Sensitive becomes Mr. Insensitive.
I can be sensitively hurt.
Dimitri digivolves too.
Asshole.
Funny. And then the next line, but it all comes back to me in the end. So I've underlined this, back to me in the end. Why?
I don't know. Actually.
Is that his own?
Personal responsibility.
I guess.
I'm guessing, well, my view of that is that when you're like, going through stuff in your mind when it comes to like negative thought cycles, that's, you always relate things in some way back to you.
Yeah,
in
well,
that
that's
sense.
natural.
So I'm guessing that's what he's referring to, but I found that quite odd after he's just said, I've become better, I've evolved, and then
We're getting a lot of tapping.
Did you just temp his tap?
I think from underneath,
Yeah.
like an untapped.
Tut.
Anyway, so yeah, I thought that was a bit a weird end to that verse, but I kind of get where he's coming from.
But it could also be related to the fact that, like, even if he's far away from, like, whatever this negative area was in his life, he can still hear news about it. Like, it all comes back to me in the end. Like, maybe he'll still keep tabs even if he doesn't try to. Like, that kind of information. Because, especially in this day and age as well, you'll always find out, like, if you're on Facebook, you can find out who anyone's doing, basically.
That's why you delete your ex
Sorry,
off all social media.
anybody's doing.
Should have worded that better.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have a
Everybody's doing.
grapevine these days? You hear things through the grapevine?
No.
Yeah.
Just bits and bobs.
I think at work there's like gossip. There usually is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut all ties, fam. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do.
Move on.
Everyone's shares
Brutal.
Next song. Paper cut.
Go ahead.
I've
Right.
actually had like 2 of those in my entire life.
You ever had one in the
That
wedding?
took me a while to process.
No.
It's the worst.
No. It's weird. Like everyone's like, "Oh, don't get a paper cut." It's like, how?
It is
They
quite
do
difficult.
smart a bit, don't they?
Oh, I think I've only had 2 or 3. Yeah, they are bastards though.
What do you know about
Anywho.
handling paper at Wilco, stacking the shelves, man? They slice you.
Oh, you'd know. How many have you had? About 24.
Probably.
Okay, paper cut. Opening lines are, I'm going to read this entire verse actually because it's very good. Why does it feel like night today? Something in the air is not right today. Why am I so uptight today? Paranoia is all I've got left. I don't know what stressed me first or how the pressure was fed, but I know just what it feels like to have a voice in the back of my head. Like a face that I hold inside, a face that awakens when I close my eyes, a face that watches every time I lie, a face that laughs every time I fall. It watches everything. So I know now when it's time to sink or swim, that the face inside is hearing me right beneath my skin. So, I've said this is a very eloquent way of depicting someone who's going through a low phase of anxiety or paranoia. Like, it's the most eloquent thing I've seen in music, actually, depicting this topic. That verse is
I thought it was
perfect.
schizophrenia.
Voice
inside.
Paranoia is like right there.
Schizophrenic symptom, yeah.
But I guess you're right, it could be schizophrenia. That's what
So
I got
that's his
anxiety
other-
and paranoia from that.
Self, yeah.
But it could be schizophrenia as well. And yeah, the first few lines, why does it feel like night today? Something in the air is not right today. People have had those like sort of situations that you hear about, which is they just wake up and feel like shit and not knowing why.
Yep.
So
Happens.
a lot of people can relate to that. Then to have a voice in the back of my head, I've depicted that or imagined that as the voice of self-doubt.
Yeah.
So
We've all got one.
yeah, So reminding you when you've like fucked up in the past, and like then it goes on to say a face that laughs every time I fall. So it's watching everything you do and moving forward to see if you fuck up again or sink or swim, as you said in the next line. So that's my analysis of that whole verse. I think that is a genuinely perfect verse of music.
Oh, it's a great opener, absolutely.
So
Yeah, it certainly hits
you
in
right
the
in the face and the feels just
or in
everywhere.
the back of the head.
So yeah, that's anyone got anything else on that? Or have I comprehensively covered
I think
that?
it was quite
Well,
poignant.
the bit that I read was it was about people who have annoyed you for years and years and how you hate them.
Yeah, it could.
So that's the
be
voice of
taken
the
that,
people that sort of say you're not good enough,
Yeah,
you're
you-
rubbish.
Yeah,
that-
you always,
that could be a good
reminded by that. Yeah,
Good interpretation, Dad.
doesn't have to necessarily be like self-doubt. It could be just sort of like self-inflicted by other people around you, I suppose. Like your negative socialization, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Moving
your
on.
peers, your teachers, your parents, that voice putting you down.
Hell, if you're in that kind of like negative state, you can just sort of like invent times where the good people in your life might have said negative things.
Yeah.
At one
Or they
point,
might not
yeah,
have said
focus on
negative things, but you've construed them
Yeah,
that way.
yeah, exactly. You can
Yeah.
definitely misinterpret. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a good point.
Next verse. So it's like I'm paranoid looking over my back. It's like a whirlwind inside. It's like a whirlwind inside of my head. It's like I can't stop what I'm hearing within. It's like the face inside is right beneath my skin. Again, a very accurate sort of depiction of negative thoughts that can become a whirlwind inside your head. It can sort of feel like it's out of control and just they're not going to stop until eventually it does. So
You kind of see the paranoia in it as well.
yeah, it's just sort of re-emphasizing the points of the first verse, isn't it, with like a little.
Oh,
chorus.
Yeah, it's like a hook. That,
Yeah,
that,
but that is kind of like it, and then you're like I and my. It's like no matter what you're doing, there's something there. It's always around me. In my head, that's so personal. On
Yeah.
my back, like you can't really escape that.
Yes. No, very good. And then it's even more so re-emphasized by the first few lines of the next verse, which is, I know I've got a face in me, points out all my mistakes to me. So I really like the sort of metaphoric concept of the face inside. Like there's someone inside you who is sort of telling you that, you're going to fuck up, or that self-doubt before like you've got like a thing to do.
an inner demon.
Yeah. It's like people get it like before presentations or something like.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like oh shit, I've got to present to hundreds of people. Don't fuck up now. And it's that sort of voice. That,
Or
that
you
other
are going
face.
to
Yeah.
F up.
That face inside that you got to try and fight against, which is
Nullifying away.
yeah, and that goes throughout the rest of the song really, and yeah,
So where's his confidence in all this? In Red Dwarf, you had Lister's confidence and paranoia, and he could.
Davey boy, it's like an Elvis game show.
Yeah,
host.
you've got a spot on your nose.
Oh,
Is
that
that a
weird.
urine stain there? Yeah, where's his I would have liked a bit of balance and to hear the confident face
Yeah.
rather than just the paranoia. Where's the thing that lifts him up?
Yeah, you're
I
right.
feel like you're
good
waiting for these songs. You're treating these songs almost like films, and they almost feel like always Greek tragedies. Whereas like a third act has like
Midway
redemption.
through the song, they bring you like a hot chocolate and a blanket.
Yeah, it's
It's
alright.
all, the hero's going to triumph
Yeah.
in the end.
You are right though, Dad. There is in this song, it does seem a bit hopeless from two points, 2 lines specifically.
Yeah.
Everybody acts like the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can. Is that people can't relate to how he's feeling? Is that his view of that? Like no one can sort of add up to why he's feeling this way.
No.
I got a bit confused on that one, but that's how I depicted or how I viewed that.
I take the point that, a lot of the theme and mood in this is paranoia. And is there a positive side to paranoia? So like an uplifting, hey, it's going to be okay sort of thing to it. And it's like, I don't know.
What does this mean? So everybody acts like the fact of the matter is I can't add up to what you can. So people can't add up to what he's feeling. Is that what he's saying? He feels no one can relate to
about
it.
that. It doesn't. It's not really a clear lyric, I don't think.
It's
For what you
ambiguous.
can.
Very.
So,
Very.
but the second bit, where the true sort of saddening begins, is this bit of it's like the last chorus.
Oh, hang on a minute. I can't add it to what you can. Is he saying he's falling short, whereas the other person's sort of got their stuff together?
Oh, maybe that's good.
But who is the other person? Is that like the voice or the mask?
Oh,
we're getting deep now, baby.
This isn't deep. I genuinely want to know. If we need to call him up, let's do
You
it.
may never know.
This is the reason for the podcast.
very good point, though. I like
We're
it.
going forensic on 2 lines, man.
This is CSI
I
stuff.
need a
here.
magnifying glass like in our logo, just be like, yeah. Anywho, but the real sad part of the song for me is this is where it feels like there is sort of like, you know, no upside to this. The sun goes down, I feel the light betray me. The sun goes down, I feel the light betray me. That's, you know, it's kind of, a bit bleak.
It is, because, I mean, like, surely you've seen the sun, you know it goes down, right? Like, it doesn't lie to you.
Just wait.
It just straight up doesn't. It just keeps going down. It comes back up again. He'll see
say,
Just wait 8 hours.
He doesn't say the sun comes back up again.
That's true.
You know what, you got a good point there.
Yeah, that's true.
So why
Clear
does
as night is follows day.
So why does this song make me happy?
You're pessimistic, or
Is it the music? Is it the driving beat?
It just must be
the video, or there must be something.
because even when he says that, like that sun goes down, like that bit, he sounds happy. It sounds
just
upbeat.
Chester's voice. He's just got
Maybe.
power to it. I don't know.
It is nice. It's
I
nice.
feel the
It
light
is a good
betray me.
voice.
Even that sounds uplifting in sort of like a choir kind of way.
Was this played at the concert? Do you know?
I can't remember now. To
I
be honest.
don't think this one was.
Well,
I have videos.
sad times, but good times. Yeah. Anyway, that's paper cut. I think we'll move on to the next one. So the next one I've got is Crawling.
Yay! I'm all about that.
I actually wasn't familiar with this one when I read just the song with the song title, and then when you play it, it's one of those ones that it didn't ever make my playlist back in when I was younger, unfortunately, because I didn't know the name clearly, but I knew of the song.
You didn't download it off the LimeWire.
No.
LimeWire.
We were talking about that earlier today. I was like, I got rickrolled 5 times, and I loved it every single time. And maybe this was for it.
I remember getting that T1 modem connection. And LimeWire, that was the speediest shit.
No.
Woo, yeah.
What, AOL, Blue Yonder, and all that stuff.
Hey, I've still got my Blue Yonder email.
Blue Yonder
I
guys.
thought I was with MSN.
MSN. Nice.
MSN was a war zone. You know, when someone created a group chat for the first time, we just like,
Knock.
Nudge.
Right, on to Crawling. Second verse. There's something inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming.
Hang on, Ammo. What about the first verse?
I saw, you know.
The opening line I really liked.
I mean,
Crawling in my skin.
Alright, fine.
Whoa.
You take over.
sorry. Crawling in my skin. When I first heard the song for ages, I thought it was crawling in my sin. I was just like,
That's good.
it's like that's quite good. Then it's okay.
It kind of works still from Linkin Park's vibe.
Still works, man.
Yeah.
No, it was just the opening line of crawling in my skin. I thought, wow, what a scene setter.
When he screams it, yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of right. I kind of missed a big one here. So these wounds, they will not heal.
Whoa.
Fear is how I fall, confusing what is real. Pretty powerful stuff there, guys.
Yeah.
But it's... What are you doing? All right. Sorry. I was like, are you purposely fucking up the audio?
No. I remember at the concert he did this.
Sorry, Dimitri. I got so triggered.
No, dude. He did this. He did it a cappella, and he like got into the crowd and then did the whole zoom on his face.
Yeah.
That was so beautiful because like with the actual chorus, he just like held the notes so long. I basically cried.
Oh yeah, when he's like just screaming, like you could see the gutturalness of his like vocal cords, like trying to scream.
But but there was points when it was just so soft, and it's just like I could marry you. Sort of thing, man. It's like damn. What is this?
You could have batted for the other side.
If you need to go to this, you'll go back in time. You will listen to this, and you will consider whether or not you need to have a wife and son.
Yeah, Chester's a handsome man. And he's a lovely man.
Very handsome.
He was a lovely man.
Sorry, but that noise that came out of your mouth has to be my text tone from all the time.
Come on, guys! Can't you see I'm in love with him?
So much.
Why do we sound like Sylvester Stallone?
Oh, I hope he doesn't watch this.
Sorry, Sly. Creed 2's gonna be great.
Can't wait.
Hope you get an Oscar for this one. Anyway, second verse. So, yeah, there's something inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. This lack of self-control I fear is never-ending, controlling. I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. Without a sense of confidence, I'm convinced that there's just too much pressure to take. I felt this way before, so insecure. I feel like this second verse is relatable to anyone going through sort of any mental health issues. Insecurities which consume you is something that I think the masses in this generation could relate to, which is great because like this song was made how many years ago? Like a decade ago?
A while ago, yeah.
14 years ago now.
I'd probably say at least a decade and a half ago.
Yeah, and the message is still is even more prevalent now
Yeah.
than it was back then.
more,
Because
out in the
mental
open.
health awareness
Timeless
is...
music.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, bringing it into like the modern day, if you see a lot of artists now that reference, mental health issues now. I mean, like Logic, for example, literally had a song that went to #1 pretty much everywhere. That was the suicide hotline.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it is a topic now, and it's a talking point. And to be honest, Linkin Park really, that I can remember in the mainstream, were the only ones doing it in that time, anyway, that I can recall.
Yeah.
So they were the mental
ahead of
health
their time.
pioneers.
They really were.
Big time, yeah.
They really were, and you could tell after hearing about Chester's passing, the amount of people that were affected by it. So,
Absolutely.
Although, having said that, Black Sabbath wrote Paranoid in 1970.
I don't think it's the same punches they throw down, I'm not going to lie.
Finished with my woman because she couldn't help me with my life.
huh.
People think I'm insane because I'm drowning all the time.
All right.
All day
still
long I
say-
think of things, but nothing seems to satisfy.
Sorry. I still think this is a bit more deep and a bit more like,
I agree.
straight into the heart.
Have you analysed Paranoid?
Fine. All right. In 3 episodes' time, we'll do
I
Black
was
Sabbath.
about to say, Sat is pitching hard.
Okay, 3 episodes time.
He's
Flipping metal
sick of doing
elder.
YouTubers and little things.
Women's movement and old metal.
You know what?
And veganism.
Metal elder feminist, I love it.
If there's ever a feministic vegan metal band, I'd just like on that shit hardcore.
yeah. Get tickets.
V-gang, guys. No devil horns, V-gang.
Hey, thank Will.i.am for that. Will.i.am came up with
just
the
saying.
V-gang, but we'll do it Ronnie Dio style, yeah?
Whoa. Is
creating new
Will.i.am
one.
vegan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just
Big
makes
time.
me dislike him.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I
don't know why.
I said to him when he told me a couple of episodes ago that he's not the best ambassador, I wouldn't say, to be honest.
No, I wouldn't want him to represent anything of mine.
Yeah.
Which sounds bad because I love the Black Eyed Peas and I love him as an artist, but I don't think I could take him seriously with
He's spacey, isn't he?
the hair and the hat and the glasses. Just no.
He's got massive reach, you know?
Absolutely.
Massive
He's
audience,
got
so
power
why
for a
not?
reason. If I ever meet him in real life, I'm just going to be like, I'm sorry for things I've said about you.
Yeah. There's been transgressions.
Here's a link.
Forgive me, Will.i.am, for
Yeah.
I've sinned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
V-gang though, right?
Yeah.
V-gang. It's the V-gang.
Oh my god.
Please don't
Give
tell
that
that.
shit.
Yo,
That's what he does. That's what he does.
Oh.
my word.
Trying to make veganism cool.
Yeah, like doing some like makeshift Hardy Boys sign.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, vegans, save the animal. No.
If it works, go for it.
There you go. He's your spokesperson, vegan.
Vegan activist over here. 2 anti-vists over here. So
Hey, I don't eat meat sometimes.
Anyway,
Anyway.
back to Linkin Park.
yeah, so the next what have you done? Was that a gay joke? Did I miss a meat in my mouth joke?
I mean,
I love those jokes.
was it?
I don't know. I must have missed it.
You heard it that way.
I heard mouth. I'm like, Stu's definitely making a blowjob
No.
reference.
I was
He
just making a joke about me, and then when I heard it, you started
Yeah.
clocking it, and I was like, "Fuck's sake,
I'm
that's
just
definitely a gay joke." Oh, this has got to be cut now. Jeez, this is deleted scenes.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah. There should be a special at
Edit.
one point, just deleted scenes. And
Just
just,
Yeah.
Bonus footage. This is.
yeah,
you
people
know.
are like, but where's Ryan?
Just superimposed.
All the good episodes are like all the sane, non-offensive episodes with Ryan here, just to like be our moral compass. So we get you two in a room together,
It's been a long week.
and the V-gang over here, fucking bringing in veganism to every single podcast he can, crowbarring it.
Women's rights and.
That's
yeah,
fine. I'm okay with that one.
one. You can't not be okay with that one.
yeah.
And I'm okay with veganism to an extent, but we've talked about it for way too long on this goddamn episode. So, moving back to
every
Linkin
I don't
Park.
even know how we got onto it.
Every week, you brought it up. Every
Trying
week.
to
Stuart, it's
Everyone.
important.
I know it is to you.
No.
Not something
42 minutes in, we're on
Linkin
track
Park.
3.
Is that a record?
No, the first one was like 2 hours as well. Anyway, right, come on. Let's focus
Jeez,
up.
man.
We're being crazy.
It's like kindergarten podcast
I'd watch.
Hey,
with Arnie.
we were fine till you noticed the gay joke. Or inventing it.
Anyway.
Go on.
So, next lyric I've got here is all the way down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th verse. To find myself again, my walls are closing in. Now, when you're going through these sort of negative feelings and sort of, you know, the insecurities that consume you, do you tend to close people off in order to find a way just to sort of be happy with like yourself, or just like even be content with yourself? Is that why people, you know, or why many do box themselves in?
Closing in. I don't think. I don't know. When I saw that, it was kind of like, I'm running out of options. I'm feeling confined. I'm feeling restricted. Like I don't know where to go. Not that I'm cutting people off. It's like, this is just what I'm going through right now.
Okay.
And to a sense, I can imagine a lot of people box themselves in because they feel that they don't want to be a burden to other people sometimes.
That's what I got with the next bit. So without a sense of confidence, I've got you don't feel confident enough to interact with others because you feel like you'd be a burden to them.
Yeah.
So
it is difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is difficult.
Well, there's the stigma of, do people want to be around people like me in this state?
yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be a bummer, basically.
You don't want to be that person in your friendship group.
No.
Mm.
No.
But apparently this song was about the band members coming to terms with their heroin addiction.
Ooh.
That
So
would
that
make
crawling
sense.
in my skin,
yeah.
yeah.
But crawling
He's
in my
working-
sin, though.
Misread
not having
lyric. He
Eric
didn't
Houston.
analyse it.
Yeah, that's good actually. That's oh now I know that.
Apparently
That's very good.
that's what it was about.
Yeah.
But then the
brilliant.
video, have you seen the video to it?
Yes.
The girl being abused by her father,
Yeah.
bruises
I've not
on her body, total loss of self-confidence, and she is kind of like, you know, boxed in this prison and she doesn't know where to turn to.
That's good.
And, you know, when the person who's abused hasn't got the confidence to break out of that cycle.
Yeah.
So the video captured that. It's a very dark video. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
And people sort of, you know, wrote in what they thought their interpretation was, and someone who suffered from panic attacks said that captured exactly how she felt.
This is what I mean with their lyrics, because it's
Yeah.
sort of, they're so in your face, they're so sort of, they're not
Descriptive?
complicated. They are descriptive but not complicated.
yeah.
You can relate this to many different things regarding sort of, you know, any sort of mental health issue. And I really like that. So no matter what they intend no matter what they intend for the song to be about, it can always be interpreted. And I guess it's the same with lots of other tracks and music, but
Yeah.
I find with Linkin Park in particular, it's like you can traverse it over numerous things.
Yeah.
Quite universal.
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
all good artists, they don't like tell you exactly what they're trying to say. They leave you to take from it what you will.
Apart from Little
make
Dicky.
your own.
Little Dicky tells
Oh,
exactly
Little
what it's
Dicky's the
saying.
one. Little Dicky is the
Yeah. You had to be
Right.
there for that one.
Any more for crawling?
one.
No.
Crawling in my sin.
Change the lyrics officially.
Are you going to write in saying, sorry, guys, you got that lyric wrong.
Yeah.
You really need to change it.
Just remove the K.
It's like you with the Derek Rosny lyric before.
Yeah, my
Little Dicky.
lyric's better. Yeah.
Which
It
one?
was I blow it from the joint. Derek Rose knee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. What was it in there?
So Stuart thought it was blown from a joint, as in like smoking a joint, where it's actually the knee joint. We don't.
No. Yeah, no, I thought the knee joint one.
No, I've got it.
the other one.
I've got it on record.
What?
I've got it on record.
Blowing from the joint, as in his knees are fucked.
You thought
I
it was the
said
other one.
that.
You thought it was the other one. I've got it on video record.
It wouldn't be that one then. It was something else in that learn. Oh, yeah, we'll figure it out. yeah, I definitely didn't get that one.
Can you
to
play
get
that clip
forensic
now?
on this.
Imagine just superimposing.
It's inadmissible in court, guys. Right, numb.
No.
No. So, this is a song that I've listened to for years, have loved for years.
Everyone and their mum knows this song, man.
Yeah, man. But when looking into it, and looking at the lyrics with my forensic lyrical analysis microscope, I've got no idea what's going on. I'll be completely honest. So this is the first song off Meteora.
For real?
And yeah, honestly, it's... So, I'm tired of being what you want me to be. So, this could be anyone. Relationship, parent, etc. And
Or
I don't
just
know...
the general public.
Or that, yeah. I don't know what you're expecting of me put under the pressure of walking in your shoes.
Maybe not
No.
public.
Yeah. So,
Scratch that out.
so is that a clue to who this person is? Because I couldn't figure out who this person is. It's quite obvious in the previous songs we've done. But in this song in particular, I am sort of struggling to ascertain who is the real person that Chester and Co are focusing on.
Okay.
I think it's a bit generic. So
Generic,
it could
for
be people wanting you to behave, act, conduct your life in a certain way. So it could be your parents,
I believe
your
it's-
teachers, your peers, classmates, and that pressure on you to conform to a certain culture way of
Yeah.
Well,
living.
you mentioned with previous songs that obviously a lot of the band members had to overcome drug addiction, and of course, like a lot of people associate being high in a sense being like numb and being
comfortably
like,
numb.
Yes, exactly. Maybe in this sense, it's it's well, I've completely forgotten what my point was going to be now.
Drugs. It could be a
But perhaps they were in like a
Nirvana
mental
thing.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But I was thinking, like, in terms of you mentioned it might be a parent. I've completely lost my train of thought.
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, like, their main audience were teenagers, so if it was like a parent or something, it's like, you know what, I can't live up to your expectations of like who you want me to become, because I'm in that period where I'm kind of fucking up right now.
Yeah, that's
It was sticking it to the man. It was
the
the man telling you.
That's good.
In
That's
Jack
good
Black terms.
Yeah.
It was the man.
But no, that's true actually, because if this is just about themselves, like what they're going through, maybe they're talking to like other bands, like if they're friends with like other celebrities as you are, it's like, you know
You'd
what,
imagine so, yeah.
you guys, you're doing all this, you're so amazing, we're kind of struggling right now, I can't be what you want me to be, sort of thing, like I can't live up to the level you've made, that's kind of like we're screwing up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And like as you mentioned, in terms of like knowing other groups and other bands, this song itself was obviously, we mentioned before, mashed up with Jay-Z, one of the biggest rappers ever. So in terms of like, you know,
imagine if it was Jay-Z they were talking to. Jay-Z's like, I have so much faith in you guys, and you sold like 1,000,001 when I expected 20 million.
You let me down.
It's crazy how like even these sort of people, like, you know, in these high positions and who've achieved so much, they still have that sort of comparative feeling in their brains.
There's
that
always
compel them to
it's not enough.
Yeah. It's mad because, like, you know, I've got like my sort of goals I want to achieve in life, and like, you know, if I achieve them, I'll be like, okay, cool, I've done good. But then when I get there, am I going to believe that?
That's why it's called the pursuit of happiness, not the capture.
Indeed.
I'll be there to tell you, Ame.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
I'll be there to tell you
That's it for that. Oh, thanks, man. I've got such a good support network.
Get that balance.
Oh, guys.
Get that balance.
No pressure.
Achieve. The first time you're a stereotypical Asian parent.
What, me and Dimitri?
I care.
Mr. and Mrs. Sensitive. God. Anyway, next verse. Or we'll do third verse, actually. Can't you see that you're smothering me? So, it's weird he's gone from, like, sort of being the person that he wants to be that he's not achieving right now to then that other person smothering them. Are you getting that? Verse 3.
Run that by me again.
So can't you see that you're smothering me? The first two verses have sort of... Well, the first verse in particular is...
Hand in hand.
Well, no, the polar opposites on there because...
They can be and they can't. I think in your... In the sense...
they're being self-critical here. Then why is the other person now smothering them?
But that's the thing, if it's a smothering parent who's like trying to get you to achieve that
I thought it was a continuation.
Yeah,
I see what there is, like a way that like smothering and like, you know, being distant. I think you're thinking of it as like a parent relationship where they didn't have a good relationship and that's why.
Maybe.
So when you see smothering, it's like, oh, that's the antithesis of what I was thinking before.
That's what this is why I'm so confused by this one song, because it's just...
It is a bit
beautiful.
It's a bit, yeah. It's
I thought the first verse was pretty clear. You know,
that's clear.
You're putting pressure on me.
Yeah.
Have we got the same first verse?
Same first verse. But yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's the smothering me part that can't you see that
Just
you're
down,
smothering
yeah.
me?
But I think, again, like, holding me too tight, afraid to lose control, that would relate to a parent or someone has control of you. Not Jay-Z. Jay-Z did not have that. None of them.
You don't have that relationship with Chester, I don't think.
Don't forget, parents have their issues as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
parents weren't schooled, and the baton gets handed from generation to generation.
Is it a case of, like, you know, those sort of parents that really push their kids and really, like, you know...
Living through their child.
Because
like, live vicariously through them
because they've failed
haven't achieved.
themselves. Yeah.
So the smothering me is that, in that sense. Potentially.
It could be, or they're being,
I like that.
Or at the same time, they're being very protective towards them, and they don't want them to go outside of these boundaries.
Yeah,
I think
they don't want them to get hurt. So on the one hand, want you to be safe, protected, cared for, not want for anything.
I like the duality of that. I'm tired of being what you want me to be.
And it can be seen that way,
Yeah, put under the pressure, and then, but can't you see that you're smothering me? That works well. Okay, I like it. Sequential. I like the stuff.
Parent.
I'd like the light bulb moment finally. I looked at this for like 10 minutes, like, what's going on? So
Better add that light bulb in post, by the way.
You know what? I'll start doing that. I'll start doing more effects. That is, now we've found our feet kind of with podcasts and the recordings and whatnot.
We know what we want to do.
Yeah. So that's luck for that. Then the next line I've underlined is in verse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I know you were just like me with someone disappointed in you.
Yeah.
It's like the...
What is going on there?
It's the circle of life.
Hang on a minute,
Yeah,
where
isn't it?
where are we now?
Oh, it's the
I'm
parent.
sure.
Oh, man.
Oh, your
The light bulb!
Did you ever listen to this song?
Dude, I'll put like 50 light bulbs up here now. Oh,
Yeah,
finally.
absolutely.
I see the light,
That was
guys.
some
Yeah,
that was
what
some
you were
Linkin
saying
Park
before about, you know
Phantom
what,
Shame,
passing
Oh,
the
so
baton on,
good.
like-
Hang on, guys, one conversation.
Yeah, so what
Sorry.
you were saying before about a parent passing the baton on, like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
sort of thing, it comes down to that, like, but I know you were just like me with someone disappointed in you. When you were a child, like, you had the same pressures put on you. Why haven't you learned and kind of, like, not done that with me, sort of thing?
You've made this song so much better for me, guys. God damn.
Easy song!
Hey, it's the 1 out of the 10 I've struggled with. So give a goddamn guy a
did-
break.
Just going back a few lines, the other line that I really liked was, every step that I take is another mistake to you.
That is the
But they
iconic
can't-
line.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
line that is.
Jay-Z
So this
was
child's
smashing these
desperately
boys.
trying to find,
What did you say?
You're reprimanding them way too much. God.
I don't know,
That's why
he's
I'm
talking
doing
behind your back, I know.
No, Jay-Z was just really hard on his voice. Every step they do was just a mistake to
I didn't know that.
I think they've missed the joke.
What?
We were saying that, yeah, because they made the song with Jay-Z as well, the Numb Encore one, that they were actually talking to Jay-Z the whole time. That's what we said earlier.
He's disappointed.
I'm still running
Oh,
with that joke.
disappointed in Jay-Z.
No, Jay-Z's disappointed in them. I think.
Oh,
Never
It's a
mind.
stretch.
we won't do a mashup until we get it right. No, man. I'm gonna listen to that song again on the way home. By the way,
It's a beautiful song.
absolutely.
I can't believe I
I
missed
always
that
remember it as
completely.
being the best thing about Miami Vice, the film.
Hang on, I want to understand your joke. Because I've missed it and I wanted to make sure I get it.
I'm sorry. I'm past that now. In my
I'm
head.
not past it.
No,
I'm not over it, Dimitri.
no.
In my head right now, Beyonce's like, just leave those boys alone.
Here's me
goes
in a
through
rare
it.
moment appreciating a line. And you guys have got the giggles.
Oh, I'm so
Hang
sorry.
on.
That's okay.
So the joke was,
You've got serious FOMO right now.
I really have.
Serious
I wanna-
FOMO.
This better be good.
I want to laugh.
No.
So explain.
Explain it to me.
All it was, we were talking about like how maybe they have relationships with other bands and other celebrities.
That was from
might,
like
yeah?
song 2, right?
Yeah.
No, this was this one.
it.
This song.
Yeah, it
You're
feels like
still
a
in-
week
How long
ago.
have we been on this
Yeah, exactly.
45 minutes.
But yeah, basically, of course, Jay-Z's the guy in the song, so we thought maybe he was talking to him on a joke, and now he's being way too harsh. He's the guy that's holding them, smothering them too much.
Jay-Z.
No, you're the guy that didn't have anyone to look up to. This, that, and the other.
Teehee. Okay.
Was not working.
I'm glad I know now. I just want to be part of your fun, okay? when I go back and edit this, I want to like realise what the hell I missed out on because I guarantee
It will
that
not-
audio is not audible.
Oh no, absolutely not. You're gonna need to like just can you do a thing where it's just like you have the subtitles of us talking behind it?
Yeah, just
Yeah, okay.
You could have the line up there.
I'll pause
You
it.
could have
I'll
a
pause
speech
it.
bubble.
Right.
You could have a speech bubble.
yeah, right underneath
I'll pause
the
me and Dad in like some.
fine.
I'll put us in like me and Dad in black and white. You guys will be in colour, just carrying on. Me and Dad are like frozen in the frame.
We're like this.
I'd Bernard's watch should be great.
I'll do that.
Yeah, a little
What's
chat.
that sound? Oh, soundtrack is like dun 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 dun.
Oh,
dun,
it's like Jeopardy, isn't it? Or something
Dun,
like that?
dun, dun.
Yeah. I was
Or
gonna say
Generation
Countdown,
Game,
it's not
maybe?
Countdown.
I don't know. I think it's off a film actually.
But
But anyway, that's what I'm gonna put in. Anyway, that's for Ammo in the future to do. So next, that's the last line I've underlined on Numb.
It,
Unless
again,
you've got anything else.
It's a very simple song.
Yeah.
No,
Dimitri like kicking him in his neck.
no. But even when you look at the actual lyrics on the page,
I really struggled with this. I really did.
12-year-old me got this.
I've only got a few lines of notes here, Amo.
Literally, I'm the driving force of the analysis.
I'm not even
normally.
a fan.
I'm
I'm
the
not
one
even a
time
fan.
that I'm like, oh guys, I'm struggling with this
sorry.
song. Do you mind
I'm
giving us a hand? And you're like, oh you fucking dumb shit.
But it's literally three verses and that's it. It's like,
Amo, why didn't you come to
What
me
have I done?
and ask me?
that's fine. I love this song. I get it. I'm listening to it on the way home.
Was this the official song for Transformers?
No, that's coming
No,
out later.
that's coming up
That's
later.
the other one. Okay, fair enough. I always get them mixed up.
So, on to Minutes to Midnight, which is album number 3.
Oh, sorry. I was like, what the hell? Can I not read? What did
I
you
know.
say?
I put M to Midnight because I thought it'd be like, all cool and hip and shorthand. But then I realised when I came to the podcast, no doubt I'd forget that.
Yeah.
So this
You
is
did?
just in case.
What I've done.
There we go. No, I've written it like downwards. Look, so the M to Midnight, and then I got minutes like some weird Sudoku situation going on, but with letters.
Wait, what?
Anyway, what I've done.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find it. You carry on.
I saw it. It's literally
Yeah, just
there.
Yeah.
Oh, what I've done right. Hang on, did you say Minutes to Midnight?
That's
the album.
Yeah, I made that mistake as well.
I've been looking for Minutes to Midnight. Okay. All right. What I've
Anywho,
done. Right.
So,
yes,
what I've done.
Right.
For God's sake. This has been a flipping
It's been an uphill battle, but I've enjoyed
It's a
it.
beautiful
Hey,
moment.
look, you said, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan, am I? I don't know their
Freaking
album.
old metal man.
Oh, we'll do Black Sabbath.
I mean, all I know.
So I thought, old metal man.
That's a good name.
Fun fact.
That should be a D&D name. Old metal man.
Oh, Metal Man.
Anyway,
Well, they were called hybrid.
God damn.
Right, okay, yeah. Anyway, go on. I was going to give you a fun fact. Anyway,
Go on, fun fact, go on.
Now you know. You probably know this.
now go on.
anyway.
Let's.
I
The listeners
don't know
might
it.
not know.
I don't know it.
So,
I just realised the last fun fact involved the kid shooting.
Yeah, why was that a fun fact, you weirdo?
hey, look,
I'm not a fan, but I know I've heard bad.
no, look,
Fun fact, guys. There's a massacre.
it's just my annotation key, you know. So I've got my notes of the song, and then the kind of sort of like newsworthy things. I put FF, fun fact.
Okay.
But mate, I should just put fact on that
Fact,
one.
you just
shouldn't I?
F on fact.
Well, I'm going to scrub the fun out of that one, okay?
Get the F out. Yeah.
Fun fact, man. Jesus Christ.
So in the end was from the
well-
album Hybrid Theory.
Run what I've done, mate.
I know.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's when you mentioned.
Hang on. Why are we going back in time?
Forget that one. Just scrub.
No,
that one.
we've gone too far now. I'm gonna get even more FOMO. So let's go.
Do you know where Hybrid Theory came from?
Go on, Dad.
It was the original name of the band.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is a fun fact.
I've heard about this, and they changed it to Linkin Park because that's where was it Chester was from, or lived near something called Lincoln Park, like LINCOLM.
Cool.
Something
It
like
doesn't
that.
make me
Yeah.
really unprepared right now.
Sorry,
A lot of
that was
cities have
Wikipedia.
Linkin Park, but they changed the spelling
Like Lincoln.
to get a cheap website.
Fair enough.
Ah,
killing it
fun
with the
fact
facts,
number
man.
2, eh?
That one was fun.
You know what?
Less shooty.
There needs to be
Never will I shun the fun facts again. Be they about massacres or not.
fun fact counter.
Be they be about massacres or not, I will never shun a fun fact again. So let those factoids come, Dad. Right.
Oh, that's a good time.
What I've done. In this farewell.
Oh, this was supposed to be like the downer one. Like,
How have we made
Yeah.
this
Had
the
so much
happiest
fun.
podcast?
we had way too much fun. We should be really somber.
Oh, man. We have to bring a towel next time. You know?
I feel like I've done some hit cardio, man. Jesus.
Where's our gym towels, Emma?
Right.
Okay, what I've done, yeah?
In this farewell. So again, sort of a trend I'm seeing now we've analysed the lyrics. Ambiguous start. This farewell could be anything. Someone dying, breakup, divorce, etc. Now, there's no blood, there's no alibi. I've got 2 question marks next to blood and alibi. Anyone got this? What this could be? Be?
There's no blood, there's no alibi.
So I've drawn regret from the truth of 1,000 lies. So let mercy come and wash away what I've done. So it sounds like a murder, in a weird way.
Well, when
Why
you say
wouldn't there be
alibi,
the alibi?
that it immediately makes you think of like a bad crime. But
Yeah.
alibi is just it's just the word for where were you? It's sort of like your alibi is, you know,
I was here, bro.
Yeah, it's like if your mum said, "Oh, where were you tonight?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was hanging out with Dimitri at his house." Like that's your alibi.
Don't call
So,
my name.
sorry, my bad. Sorry, Mr.
Mr. Sensitive.
Mr. Sensitive, won't happen again.
I'm gonna make you into a Mr. Man.
That's fine. That'd be quite cool, actually.
How'd you capture Mr. Sensitive then?
I'm just like this with like flowers.
Brilliant.
It'll be a thing.
Halo and
It'll be a thing.
Oh my god.
Like
So
an
good.
oversized turtleneck as well, just there all
yeah.
snug and comfy.
like a Dalai Lama robe. And
No. It's a checkered shirt with a bow tie. Definitely. I've definitely seen Mr. Stensive has to rock that vibe. Maybe some glasses with like the tape in the middle because it's been broken.
Whoa, I've gone from Mr.
Isn't that
Sensitive to
nerd?
this bitch.
Isn't
I
that
feel
Mr.
that's why I
Nerd?
view as sensitive.
No, but that's...
I was
I was going to say you're sensitive because you can't afford glasses.
You know I've just got glasses, you jerk.
Nothing wrong with that. I've been a glasses wearer for all my life.
I've not seen you wear glasses in a while, actually.
Since Sports Direct days. Ooh, throwback times.
Damn.
Anyway, yeah, don't criticise me for criticising glasses, people. I am one of you. Moving on. So, anyone got that? So
No,
there's no blood, there's no allegory.
Yeah, it doesn't
song.
necessarily mean a crime, I suppose. It could just... The song is literally about what I've done, so he's clearly regretting some form of action that he's done, and he's ready to face the consequences.
Cool.
And, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bloody crime, I suppose. It could just be,
something that happened.
I've not done the dishes, love. What have I done? You know what I mean? I don't know if it's
Well,
quite that
a
bad.
bit more deep than that.
Maybe a bit more, yeah.
Alibi for me seems like there's no excuse for what he's done, yeah? Even if it's like, it's saying alibi, but for me...
If you're
it's
saying
like,
there's no alibi, yeah.
yeah, no
then
excuse for what he's done.
You fucked up.
Because the next bit I really like. So the next verse is, I'll face myself to cross out what I've become, erase myself and let go of what I've done. Dad, you're like this. This is emotional freedom, in essence.
It's forgiveness.
Right?
Yes, the power of forgiveness.
Emotional freedom is probably one of the most difficult things to do. And yeah, I relate to this because I didn't like the man I was kind of becoming like a year and a half ago. And you do feel like when you erase that person from existence, that's what you need to do. But it's really fucking hard to do that. To kind of sort of reset yourself in such a way
It's
that
not-
you need to sort of become that old person that you wanted to be or that person that you want to be. It's difficult, and I really think that encapsulates that perfectly.
Yeah, it's not what human beings were designed to do, to just sort of
Reset.
reset button. Like it's a gradual step. It is day
Yeah.
to day. You can't just go, I'm just going to be an Olympic sprinter now, and then there you go, it's off. I'm off and running. Me and Usain Bolt chilling at the track. No, it doesn't work like that. There's work and time and effort.
He's in Australia right now, mate. He's
Yeah.
not on that track.
Balling.
On that field.
By that I mean he scored 2 goals at once.
So
But
then, with that being said, would in this farewell be referring to a person or to yourself, like that older you?
From a personal standpoint,
Yeah.
I guess I would be to my old self. Or that person that became in that time period, which I
Yeah.
detested.
So you're saying bye to someone, or you're killing your previous self. That's why there's no blood. There's no alibi.
Oh, fucking
Oh, that's good. That's good.
You don't need an alibi.
Oh! That is... Oh, I love this podcast,
Yeah, man,
guys.
silent
Honestly.
moments. Just gotta-
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
Dimitri,
send
what an intro, man. That is a great...
No, I was literally
Great.
just playing the song in my head, like, how does it go again? How does that?
No, that is perfect analysis, man. Whew.
Very good. Very good indeed, yes.
Moving on. That is perfect. So,
Put to rest what you thought of me.
I think this line here I've got underlined, I'm forgiving what I've done. In the end of the 5th verse. Finally letting go. And that's true emotional freedom that has occurred. So this is the duality of Linkin Park. There's that depressing songs without any sort of... They do have hope in them, but it's always quite sad and
Is this
downy.
my half glass full moment?
This is going to be your half glass full because
maybe.
you can't deny this is extremely positive.
This is, if forgiveness is done genuinely from the heart,
it's
then
personal.
it is very liberating.
Yeah.
It's the most challenging thing we can probably ever face, but it's at the same time the most liberating.
Yeah, we're our own worst self-critic anyway. Worst critic?
Forgiving what
worst
I've
critic.
done.
There we go.
Forgiving what I've done. And that's it. That's all there's to that song, really, in my opinion. That is
Yeah.
probably one of the most uplifting Linkin Park songs made. In my opinion, that's how I feel.
No,
I
it's-
think
It's all
because I
relative.
relate
It's
to-
all relative, isn't it?
It depends on your
It's a
person.
really good song, but I don't know. At this point in their music, I kind of felt like it was a big contrast to what they'd done previously.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I didn't relate to this song too much. I wasn't in that teenage period
Back
anymore.
then?
Yeah,
But now?
absolutely. I kind of related to the Transformers movie too much. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Hang on, no, that's
Oh,
something
I
else.
swear
That's-
this is Transformers 1 and that one's 2, you know.
yeah, it is. It's
you
a
could be
first one.
right.
And
Yeah,
the reason why I
okay.
hate it so much is because the Transformers game came out at the same time,
That was
and it was
trash.
so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just playing Linkin Park trying to make it better. It's just like, no, now this is actually making Linkin Park worse. Than
Alright, you separate your emotional ties for 1 second.
Can't do it,
And
too
look at the words.
No, man.
And you made it this way. You wanted him to have a
Reframe
name.
your
damn it.
memory.
who made that game? It's EA.
It's like
Screw EA.
EA,
or
don't
something.
think it's
THQ,
man.
God, I haven't said that and heard that in ages. I miss THQ. Miss their SmackDown games. Anywho, any more on that? Or should we move on? Have you got some fun fact there?
Well, no.
Transformers is a movie.
Well, some people thought about this was about mankind's cycle of destruction. You know, war, hate, terrorism, racism, all the isms in the world, and
veganism.
Hey, I didn't say it.
Touche.
I didn't say it. Veganism is
Dimitri, we went a solid 20 minutes.
I did look. It wasn't
record
me.
for this podcast.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So, you know, the people that actually perpetrate all this destruction on the world, can they forgive themselves for, you know, massacring thousands, tens of
Can they
thousands,
sleep at
millions?
night? Yeah.
Can they forgive themselves, or can they be forgiven?
Who are we referring to here? Soldiers and military and...
It's probably
generals.
like the presidents and the generals that sort of give the orders, because they're the ones with the there is genuine blood on their hands, and they haven't got an alibi.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask Kim Jong-un if he likes Linkin Park?
Right now.
With his finger hovering over
right
the
now.
button.
He's there, got his little-
Shall I, shan't I?
He's got his Walkman and he's like,
Because he has
round,
those.
shall shout we and round, we and round.
Then he realises Trump's been honey dicking him.
Oh, no. That is such a good line.
I hope this doesn't start any wars. Bloody hell.
Especially not over the word honey dicking. This is like the worst.
Was it honey dicking?
call to
It's
action.
honey dicking.
That's
He's
from
gonna
the-
put the definition right now. It's just like, right, the bomb.
The Seth Rogen film.
The interview.
Yeah, the honey
Is
dicking.
it honey dicking or something else?
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
think it's honey
honey
dicking.
dicking.
Yeah.
I think it's honey dicking.
Cool.
Because he thought he was honey dicking. What's the guy's name? That
James Franco.
the interviewer.
James Franco.
James Franco. He thought he was honey dicking James Franco.
They hate
but
us.
James Franco was honey dicking him.
They hate us because they ain't us.
I love that.
They ain't us.
Oh god! Right, I'm gonna try and bring it back. Dimitri mentioned that this is like the first real positive one that they've had in terms of like an actual crescendo that was positive. Like,
big time.
Well, this is one
That
of their,
ending.
I mean, how many years would you say this is over? Say in the end, would you say maybe 2 or 3?
Yeah, something like that.
So you know, it does show personal growth. You know, you can literally almost chronicle Chester's feelings via the year and via the song.
Yeah.
And maybe at this point he felt he was in a much better
An up
place.
place, yeah.
Forgiving himself, or
Yeah.
yeah,
It
absolutely.
shows how long like change takes, but in this world of impatientness, it's just
Impatient.
very difficult.
Change is a process, not an event.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Wise words from
But-
Dad.
Always.
What's all this
Kind
at
of like
the
pursuit of
end?
happiness
Oh,
thing
that's
from
like-
A lot
earlier,
of
whatever.
nanas.
Yeah, in the
No,
music video.
I don't like this na la la
It's quite good.
hum stuff.
This is when I
lazy
jumped out.
lazy lyrics.
This is when I jumped out as well.
This is the bit in
What's-
like a concert where the crowd can just easily sing along.
Well, they
It's
can do
nice.
that, but they don't actually have to put it in the lyrics.
What's the-
can
is
they?
it- is it-
Why not? Like you just got a really good solid track, and then if you want like
And
a
then
good
you
little,
ruin it with
you want
It'll be fine if they did the Batman.
They dropped Batman in there, then yeah, they win.
Oh, yeah.
10 out of 10.
It's like it's good, it's amazing.
My opinion on this is at the end of the song when it's like an uplifting bit at a concert, to share that moment with the crowd with ease, you have a na bit, which I'm fine with in this case. So,
What if it was an ooh wah instead, like a chop
Or a
suey?
woohoo or something.
it's third base.
Oh, it's my bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like a what? So
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, he can do it. I've got the.
Disturbed, down with the sickness.
Oh, I'm not really a disturbed guy, so.
Fake.
Well, I may be a disturbed guy.
I'm allowed to reference so many different musical artists in this because we've said Jay-Z how many times.
That's relevant though.
Oh, Black Sabbath.
Irrelevant.
Oh.
Alright.
Oh, good keep
It's just one of my pet hates, you know. I just don't like la-las and na-nas.
I feel you on that one, absolutely.
I think you just.
I think they have their place.
Well, Dad hates going to concerts, so I think you're just a bloody prude when it comes to that.
That's a whole other conversation,
Let's have a
Dimitri.
little. We're doing okay for time, so let's have a little segue, Dad. So
Yeah.
Dad hates people.
No, you get me wrong. You get me
All
wrong.
right, you hate people in confined spaces. You hate people Generally.
I don't hate you guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, but
So that's good to hear, but this is mind-boggling because he's like the mosh pit king. He loves to get in there and just destroy things.
Let me give you a story. Back in the sort of 70s and 80s, when I used to go to a lot of gigs,
This is my shake break.
everybody they stood quietly. They watched the band. There wasn't any recording. There weren't any phones and iPads in the air. There wasn't any singing.
Tickets
along.
only cost £1.50. Oh, back in my day, I could show you some Black Sabbath tickets.
I could actually.
Only cost me £2.
So everybody respectfully watched and listened. They didn't sing along like crazy volume, so you can't even hear the band. And you weren't allowed to take drink into the auditorium, so there wasn't any of this sploshing of beer around. You could actually really enjoy and watch the band perform.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So now it's just like a zoo.
Yeah,
It's,
I suppose
it's mayhem. It's like a football match, you know.
It's a
It's-
culture change, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I just don't enjoy them. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
now.
but you go and you're seated, so you got no reason to hate.
There's people the people can't sit still for like
they
an
give
hour.
options.
There's people walking in and out. It's just a different.
Also, you're teetotal,
era.
so you're not the one who like partakes in the alcohol beverages.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't really like that sort of scene anymore. But even without that, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, people can drink a whole vat of beer if they want to, or
As long as they were
knock
nice.
yourself out.
Yeah.
But I think it's just the general behaviour and the filming and the singing and it's all leery.
I
and
get the
it's
filming.
loosey.
That pisses me off a little bit now because like I've
Yeah,
gone.
you're trying to watch something and someone's got a camera in your
Yeah.
face.
Well, it just feels like they're not experiencing it. And I'm not much of a live music kind of guy, but I mean, if I was going to go to a gig, I'd maybe like film 10 seconds for like a personal video. Like,
Posterity,
oh yeah, I'm going
yeah.
to have that.
Yeah.
But then you've just,
So it's me, the guy.
Oh, do you want to hear something funny? Remember when we went to see System of a Down?
Yeah.
The guy next to me, he had his mobile phone like this, and we were looking side on. So it was like right in front of me.
for God's
So I
sake.
thought, what shall I do here? So I said, fucking hell, can't see a bloody thing here. So I just kept on saying that, and he went, and he moved it that way.
You know, I love about Dad. Dad's like quite small in stature, right? But Dad does not give a fuck, man. Like with
He's like a honey badger.
like Dad.
Never back down. Never.
It's like any
Only dicking
situation,
around.
I'm quite, like in these sort of situations, I've taken after Dad. I'd say my piece, right? But Dad, like any cinema situation, if etiquette is not maintained, he's straight in there.
Oh, I'm
He'll
happy
go
with that.
over to people, point at them with his wagging finger and be like, turn that off or whatever. Gigs, exactly the same. We'll make a statement straight away. Like, Dad just sort of stamps his authority in a very, because you're such a peaceful hippie vegan, and then when it comes to this, it's like Alpha Sat comes out.
Like, it
I
has
find
to be
that
a
really
stickler for
weird.
the rules.
No,
It's not. I think it's etiquette.
etiquette.
It's just like concert etiquette, cinema
Yeah,
etiquette.
It's just not being.
I think I have to pick my moments, If I think
But I've seen
I'm
you
in
go-
danger, then I won't say anything.
I've seen you go with some big burly dudes and not give a shit, which is actually really quite impressive. So
Really cool.
yeah, fair play, Dad. Because when I was younger,
I've done a bit of elbowing as well. If someone's getting a bit too close to me, I kind of deliberately go like that.
pretend you're in a drunk stupid.
Oh, sorry, was that your face?
Right.
He sounded genuine when you said that as well.
That's the thing, Dad's an
Oh, sorry. Was that
Dad's an unassuming dickhead. The thing is, they've been the dick, so you're just like, giving tit for tat. Anyway, story time over.
Okay.
the Robin Hood of Dick Henry.
He gives everyone a better view. Anywho,
Bleed it out.
bleed it
That
out.
would be my superhero,
What?
the etiquette man.
That's a shittest name.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
terrible name.
I was saying that would be the final
The
name.
etiquette evangelist.
I avenge you. No.
The etiquette.
Why has this
man.
been such a happy podcast? This is supposed to be like the one where I cried out. Or
Honestly, I was not looking forward to this because I thought it's going to be a repetitive
Very
I thought I was gonna
conversation.
fucking ball, man.
No,
but
I'm
it's
not
been
crying.
like-
No.
I've become proper emotional in the past 3 years, man. Honestly, it's weird. I used to be sort of a rock, and now I'm like, my thing is like, I well up. I never cry fully. The tear never drops, but I well up a lot. And I thought these were gonna get me, but fucking
Nah,
Jay-Z
too much.
jokes that I missed out on, and fucking evangelicist of etiquette. I can't help but laugh.
It's the idea that later on you're gonna have a moment to yourself and you're gonna get a little bit like teary-eyed. It's like, I finally get what numb means.
Oh, to be fair, that has made my
Racking my
night.
brain.
That has made my night.
15
The thing
years.
is, though, I never looked into it. But now that I did, I was like, what the fuck is this about? And now, light bulbs.
Sherry.
Dimitri being very polite and cordial about it, but he was actually going, duh.
I don't know what to say to that.
I felt like someone called me a der brain without calling me a der brain for the first time in like, what, 13 years?
It's the best.
Doy doofus. Anyway, bleed it out.
Bleed it out.
Oh, can we just talk about the music video for this? It was just like
Take the mic, good sir. Pick up the mic and spray.
That's a huge mic, so no, thank you. No, it's just like the
So
actual
euphemism.
video itself. It was just a big bar brawl, and people are getting the shit kicked out of them. Things are flying, flaming shit. Bottles broken. Someone's getting like, but it's all in reverse. So from the very end, you just see that, but the bandit is going like just. In normal, they're going normal pace, normal speed forward.
It's like
Yeah,
Red Dwarf
like the Dead
backwards.
Island trailer, but obviously way before then.
Dead Island trailer.
Is it Dead Island?
That's not done in reverse though. The guy jogging.
Yeah, no, it's like a girl falling out of a freaking.
I remember.
hotel
Yeah, I
room.
remember what you were on about. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that. I like when storylines aren't always linear.
Yeah.
So if it's done well, anyway.
And the great thing was like it met the beat of the actual rhythm and just the beat of the song was just. It was so good.
The strikes in line with the beats, yeah.
It was so good, and the women in that video went so hard. I swear, at some point you just see some girl's hair whip back and forth, and someone's face just get clawed. I need her in my life. That is the person you call for backup, man.
You know, I used to with mosh pits because more and more girls over the years have got involved in the mosh pits.
Yeah.
And at first, back in the day, I used to, just stay away and not,
Yeah, I've adopted that style.
Not Marshall woman.
not mosh a woman yet. But then now, as they're getting more involved, and the girls are aggressive in that pit, man. I kind of, you know what?
I feel like
Equality rules. And I was like, dang. There's
Get
one
out
girl.
the way.
This one girl. There's this like black girl that's skin dread who just stood in the middle. She's a big girl, and she just flipping dominated the mosh pit. I was like, right, because she got me a couple of times. I was like, right, I'm gonna get her. So I went all the way around. And I was like, bang!
Blindsided.
And then she saw me afterwards and gave me like a. What do you call it? One of the
Respect.
Yeah.
That's a strange. That's not an experience that I ever think I'd
She's
ever
like,
want
what,
to
mosh-
do.
I've been had.
What is the purpose of mosh pit? Keeping in mind the concert I went to the other week. What was it? 3 days.
Hang on,
Grace.
can we just define what you know how you do like the bro handshake? What do you call that? Doing
handshake.
Which one? This one.
What do you call that?
Okay, I don't know.
It's not handshake. It's not.
Clasp,
does it have a
I
name?
guess. I don't know. Kind of.
So I tried
Bro
to
shake?
I tried
I
to
mean, I
define
don't-
it just then, and I couldn't think of the word.
You gave her a bro shake.
Well, it sounds like I'm a protein salesman or a sex fiend.
I just gotta shake my bro one. No.
Just stand back a bit,
Anyway, let's move on swiftly.
Bro
So, hang on, what's the
shake.
point of
Harvey
mosh pits, you're saying?
Weinstein. No.
Yeah, because it's
So-
like you don't. Some people go in there just to fuck people up, but it's certain songs are made to mosh.
It's not about that. Like for me, I mean, the same gig actually with the girl.
Of a black girl.
I took Ryan, the calmest man alive.
Yes.
To
Is he mush as well?
Well, he didn't at this point. Skin Dread, I was like, I'm going to throw you in the pit. He's like, I don't want to go. So I was like, fine. Obviously, first song. If you go, right? And then
He is not
afterwards,
sensitive.
he thanked me because he finally got it once he'd been in there. It makes the music so much more meaningful. And because you're like in this heightened state of adrenaline, the music it just seems so much more real and visceral. It's hard to explain unless you do it.
I've been in a mosh pit.
Yeah, but like a metal
disagree.
one. A metal one.
It didn't heighten your experience, Stuart.
No, because I'm
You watched that Linkin, didn't you?
I did, no?
Yeah, you did.
did.
I'm just thinking what song was. Some of them are mushy, but I can't think of it.
Yeah, I definitely dabbled in and out depending on the song choice, but it depends because certain gigs, like I've been to grime mosh pits, you don't have that same feeling because
No, it's,
they're all twats.
Grime mosh.
I'm not gonna lie,
that's-
grime fans are.
there's like
Trash a little
they're
bit.
trying to like
I love grime.
sneak.
I love grime too, but the fans that I've been in the mosh pits with, it's not the same sort of thing where in a metal mosh pit, if someone falls, it's the mantra: if a brother falls, pick him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a grime mosh pit, like a Reading and Leeds,
Every man for
saw P
himself.
Money. Not even that. It's like I saw a 14-year-old kid go into the pit, get knocked down immediately. He came back a minute later, blood down his nose. Nose
Bloody
looked broken because some guy stomped on him.
What?
And I'm just like, oh, it's grime fans,
I-
man. This is why metalheads get, we're seen to be these like devil worshipping, horrible heathens. Whereas Man, we're the nice
Brothers in
guys,
arms.
man.
We're the brothers in arms.
You're the lesser of two evils. Let's be fair.
I'm sorry. There's no
sell your soul,
the
but
metal
we'll pick
mosh
you
pit
out.
etiquette
Guys,
is that-
get a stretcher and take them to the first aid and
get them water. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, for me, I'll never quite understand. To be fair, though, I'm somebody that overthinks everything, and I don't like hurting people. I'm quite a big lad as it is,
Yeah.
and any time I've ever had an experience where I'm even near a mosh pit, there'll be the smallest female in the fucking universe, 80 pounds of her, and she'll get flung into me,
gotta-
and they'll bounce off me. It's happened every time.
gotta
I
aim
don't
for-
enjoy it.
Aim for
at
big
all.
black girls. You'll be
That's it. That's what I'm missing out. That's clearly what I'm missing
This is
out.
a perfect Mosh song, though, isn't it?
Yeah, Bleed It Out.
It
Yeah,
It's
good
perfect Mosh
segue,
song.
Dimitri. Good segue. So, Bleed It Out. So, yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine, going out of my fucking mind. Now, this is the sort of thing that would drive someone crazy, isn't it? The sort of going through an issue multiple times in your head, hoping the issue is resolved in a certain way, but it will only result in frustration because it's the same thing over and over again. We do it anyway, despite maybe attempts to change, can't get out your mind, same cycles repeat, going mad. First paragraph, right?
Yeah.
And then, filthy mouth, no excuse. So, filthy mouth, is that, I put swearing or being hurtful?
He just swore in the line before.
I know. So, is that the thing? I found that was pretty
I don't know, this wasn't on the list, damn it, so I didn't get a chance to
Alright, so it's me and Dimitri on this one. So,
analyse it
I'll
yeah.
go slow
Yes,
for you guys
yes.
then.
No,
So,
you carry on,
this gets quite deep now, so find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from atop these roofs. Knot it tight so it won't get loose.
When was this written?
This was third album, so 3 years after the first one. Nowhere near the suicide attempt.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I was a teenager still.
Yeah. So whatever issue this person's facing, it's driving them to suicidal thoughts, and even towards suicide, it seems. And it gets even more deep. Truth is, you can stop and stare, bled myself out and no one cares. Dug a trench out, laid down there with the shovel up, out of reach somewhere. So I've got here, bled myself out, obviously self-harm as a means of attention. And then this bit I found really interesting, with a shovel up, out of reach somewhere. So in my viewpoint of this, he's mentally dug into a place where he can't escape from, or he doesn't want to, because he had the shovel in my mind and he's put it in a place that he can't reach because he dug himself down so much that he can never get back to that place.
Yeah,
That's the point of no
Wow, it's a
return.
good line, man. That is a good, deep
really good, yeah.
bars. So yeah, that's what I've got for that. Any other points on that? Dimitri, seeing as you're the only one who prepped for this song.
Did I? I just live and breathe it, man. No, with Bleed It Out, I mean, with the title alone, with a lot of the songs, it's just very fitting for the mood. With Bleed It Out, I would have interpreted it as, like, you know what, whatever pain or, I guess, bad habit or just something that, like you said, you're reoccurringly going to just do what you need to do to get out of your system. Even if it's painful, just bleed it out. But even from the lyrics alone, you know it is relating to suicide and whatnot. So it's like, it's not that you're trying to help yourself. It's literally, this is the only way you know how to cope. You know, this is how you're dealing with this.
So what does this then mean? Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, do you think the song kind of glamorizes it a little bit? Because that's a touchy subject. Because I mean, you do want to hit the nail on the head, and you want to make sure your song is poignant and has the message. So bleed it out, the title. I get that, but at the same time, if it's a song about it and it's like you say, it is their release, and it's the only way that people feel that they can.
Are you saying it's giving people ideas?
I don't like suggest that they're like trying to implant that into them.
I'm not saying they are, but
yeah,
as an effect.
Yeah, you can do. Sometimes, you know, just bringing something up can, you know, worsen subjects.
Inspiring the wrong way.
Sometimes, I mean, like, even, I'm going to call you Sat now. Even
Dimitri, first time.
for everything.
Oh, the Nano's dad.
But what Sat said with the fun fact about the guy referencing Linkin Park in a lyrics that wasn't meant to be, you know what, encouraging, you know what, school shootings, but it could be. I mean, with Bleed It Out, there is a difference between self-harm and, you know what, suicide attempts.
Yes.
So self-harm
absolutely.
is your way of coping with whatever shit you're doing. You don't necessarily want to hurt yourself or, you know what, go the very
the
limit.
distance.
You don't want to do it, but yeah, it's really interesting because when I think of this song, I just think about the amazing video, the fun song, and just how fucking energized
Because
I
the
feel.
beat to the song is very upbeat.
Yeah.
It's high tempo, it's high stuff. So
You feel so energized, and I can't envision someone just rocking out to this song and then going ham on themselves in terms of self-harm.
Fair enough.
That's a brilliant point.
The two energies don't match up, but that's me. That's me.
That's
like,
a theme
you know?
throughout their songs that we've talked about. That if even when the lyrics are so depressingly sad, the beat of the song is something that will compel people or listeners to go anti that viewpoint.
That's true. I suppose anyone's going to have that effect. Like, you listen to any song now, somebody's going to have the opposite effect to what the song's about.
Yeah.
And it's high beat, but it's not angry.
Yeah.
No.
It's not angry, and I guess that's the way the lyrics and the beats like relate to one another.
So then what does this bit mean? So the chorus, I've got question marks throughout. So I bleed it out, digging deeper, just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. Just to throw it away. So what is that? So digging deeper, just to throw it away. What's he throwing away here? Because I get the digging deeper in the sort of the state of his, his mind. But what's he throwing away here?
It depends what you're bleeding out.
He's going down to his subconscious and unconscious mind levels, and he's finding his demons, and he's throwing them away.
It's also
You think that's
definitely an
that?
innuendo. in
That's
the
what I
sense,
think.
As I mentioned before with the self-harm, like digging deeper, that's, that's...
Oh, that I got.
Yeah, but
It's
that
that bit,
very
the throwing
line as
away
well.
bit.
So the digging
throwing
a trench, may not be digging your own grave. It's
I thought it was
it's
going
digging
down
deep
darker.
in your psyche.
I thought darker into the psyche is in like a negative, so he's going
No.
even worse into the state that he's going
Could be a
into.
positive because you can't heal what you conceal.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, but think about
Gotta
it. when
go
someone
below
says
the
dig
iceberg.
Deep, you know?
Gotta get deep on these things. And then, okay, so the next one I've got a question mark under is can't contain him. He knows he works. So, because he's got
Beats me.
it's got
Sorry,
1,
can't
2, 3,
contain
4,
who?
5. Let's go. I'll go to 7th first. So actually, I'll read that whole bit. So for you guys,
Oh
as
my
well.
god.
Yeah.
I love this one.
Ooh, okay.
Can
I'll do that. So go. I'll go from this bit then. So cock it back and then watch it go. Mama help me, I've been cursed. Death is rolling in every verse. Candy paint on his brand new hearse. Can't contain him, he knows he works. Fuck this hurts, I won't lie. Doesn't matter how hard I try. Half the words don't mean a thing. And I know that I'll do it again. But that's that bit there.
The Candy Hearst part
That's crazy.
I love it. And obviously when you're talking about cock it back, you're talking about a physical gun. You know?
Yeah,
So we
I
are
think there's
going
no
to
doubt about that, really, is there?
Yeah, the imagery of suicide is definitely in there.
So who's he? Is it the father? Can't contain him? Or is it the person inside?
Him could actually be the need to self-harm or to commit suicide. You can't.
So he's
contain
personified it.
him. Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe so.
He knows he works. If it is simply self-harm, you know what? He knows it works. You know that once you do it, you do feel some sort of relief of catharsis from this. So,
Definitely.
fuck this hurts. You're doing it. You know it hurts, but you do feel better at the end.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's why, yeah.
So what's this candy paint then?
it's just making it seem appealing and just cute to have a hearse. Can you imagine a pink hearse?
It's like,
Yeah.
On his brand new
It's like an
hearse.
oxymoron, isn't it?
Yeah,
It doesn't-
absolutely.
doesn't
It's
fit.
trying to say that that's like, this having this
It's
paint on the
ironic.
hearse is like,
Shiny
it could be a
turd.
good thing.
Oh, what? Sorry.
Shiny turd.
Like this could be, a good thing in his own mind. That this is the way that it should be if,
Yeah, because
his
obviously,
settlement.
obviously with hearses, the image of death and you know what that sort of outcome is there. It's the end. There's no coming
It's
back
like
from it.
having a clown car version of a hearse.
All right,
That's the
okay,
happiest,
okay.
because that could make him the
Yeah.
happiest in jolly. Yeah, that's the best
Like
way
an
to
ice
describe
cream van or something, you
Yeah.
know, with a tune or something.
it. With a casket in the back, yeah. That's actually, that's the best way to put it. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think these are like dangerous lyrics, nooses and cocking guns back and bleed it out and.
It is very
Oh
passive.
my word!
That's the thing. Like parents, and now that we're older, we see it, but when we're kids, we don't think of it like that. We didn't even realize it until now. It's like when you're saying, "Oh, it's dangerous." It's
Hey,
like,
I've just
it's
worked
not.
out numb now.
We don't know this. Like if my kids are listening to some next, I don't know, heavy gangster rap, and it's just about I'm shooting up this area. It's like,
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
it's fine. You don't know what it is until you're like 25. Like, Dad, you let me listen to this. Like, but that beat though.
It's going back to your introduction. Do people even listen to the lyrics?
You're going to be a weird father.
I'll be playing Bohemian Rhapsody, then mixing up with a bit of like, not Kanye. Fuck Kanye.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
Not right now. Yeah, we don't talk about him anymore.
We'll talk about him soon, I think. on
Do we
this.
have to?
I think we have
Can we
to.
do it next year? I'm not.
Childish Gambino before Kanye?
Yeah, please.
Oh, cool.
Please.
Yeah.
We need to get a bigger studio, man, because I think you all want to be on that, don't you, Childish?
Oh, I'm
Gambino?
seeing Childish in 2 weeks, man.
I
It's
don't
gonna
mind
be great.
stepping out for that
Have you
one.
seen him?
In London on the 4th.
Nice.
Yeah, man, it's one of his last concerts, so
Really?
gotta do it.
Mate, I'm very envious of you.
I'm alright.
Very envious.
No, you're not.
I don't. I've not got into him, so
You're sad inside.
there's nothing to.
Bleed it out.
I'll try. That is. Oh yeah. So the next, last bit
I've
I've
be
got.
that guy, but I do have to be up at like 5 a.m.
Oh, 4 a.m. for me, man.
There you go. I'm just saying, like, we're already like an hour and a half in.
10:05.
All right. Let's.
I don't mind. It's just we'll have to like.
Sorry.
Focus on the
a little
lyrics.
bit.
Yeah,
A little
that's
bit
gone.
more pace.
All right. Let's go for pace. And last thing I've got on this Bleed It Out song is, what's this dirty dance floor about? Make it a dirty dance floor again. I just don't
He
get
just
that.
likes lifting people up in the air.
So I
Blood is dirty, man. Come on.
Swayze style, I love it.
This is the uplifting part.
Hey! Alright, moving on. Right. Hands held high.
Quick while you're ahead.
This is off minutes to midnight. So, okay, hands held high, Dad. You got this? It's right there. Right there. Right there.
Okie dokie.
Cool. So now this is the most upbeat song actually for Linkin Park. It's full of optimism and hope. It's Mike Shinoda is quoted as saying this is a middle finger to George Bush. This is really quick actually, Stuart. So it's fun fact, the live version of this was recorded in our very own Milton Keynes.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I think we looked at the same website, have we?
Oh, cool.
I have the same fun fact here.
Yeah.
It's genetic.
Yeah. But then, anyway, let's speed this up. So it's very anti-establishment, this song. Issues that are sort of talked about are the Iraq War, the wealth disparity, and even like gas and petrol prices. So,
Yep.
So
They were always quite political though, weren't they, Linkin Park? Didn't they get like on campaigns and stuff?
yeah,
yeah, I think so actually. Yeah, they mention it. But this is brilliant. Like they're very simple lyrics. It's just straight to the point. It's just explaining what exactly is happening at America at that point in time. And there's these like bars I've highlighted, which is take back what's yours. Say something that you know they might attack you for. Sorry, take back what's yours. Say something that you know they might attack you for. Because I'm sick of being treated like I had before. I think those are great bars. But I've got a question here. How do you take back what's yours in a situation like that when the wealth disparity is just so much? I just thought it's like I thought it was a bit hollow in terms of words. I mean, it's nice to say these things, but is it quite shallow in its delivery?
And again, this is where it's not like their old music. They've kind of moved towards something else. I don't know what.
A political statement.
Yeah.
It just felt like it lacked the meaning.
Almost.
Yeah, I guess
in
but
a sense.
this
We can
part,
do it. How? Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out when we get there.
A revolution. Are they saying let's get a revolution going?
This is like how Russell Brand sort of speaks. His Russell Brandian politics of just like just chatting fucking aimless shit without any meaning behind it.
That's the weird thing. Like I found him really annoying. Like 90% of the time I've been exposed to him, but he's very smart. He's very knowledgeable. It's just how he conveys
He
it.
doesn't. I completely agree.
I think the opposite. I think he's actually a dumbass who just knows how to say big words.
He was encouraging people not to vote.
Has he had the same
that's
hairstyle for like 20 years or something?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he needs to
Get it?
fix that
He's
up.
just I don't get how he fucks so many women because he's just so genuinely unfuckable.
It's the rock star thing, bro. You'll never understand it. Don't worry about it.
It's just being famous.
It's
I
tiger
guess,
blood, bro. Tiger blood.
It's big words, isn't it?
Yeah, just big words.
Just big words. No, everyone's seen his dick. Like,
I haven't. And I don't want to either.
Have you not seen it?
Wait, hold on. Honey dicking what?
You were so confident and sure with yourselves. Like we've all seen it, right, lads?
Where did you see his dick?
All right, let me take you back. So,
No, I don't want. No, just.
it was on a
Whoa.
TV show.
Okay.
There was a clip of
Pornhub.
Russell Brand, not Pornhub. It was a clip of Russell Brand being an activist on top of a van, and he decided to strip naked, and it was really cold or whatever. Might not be cold. I might just be giving that to save him some grace, but he he revealed his man piece, and he had to try and wank it into life, so he wasn't embarrassed.
Wait.
Oh,
What?
jeez.
Just like give it some size. I think he was embarrassed. 'Cause I don't think Russell Brand would get embarrassed by that sort of thing. But
yeah.
he was just like,
Also, why did he take it out if he knew it wasn't at like?
it's peak.
He's max. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not even peak, just at a reasonable size. Even if you're half chub, it's like that's all right.
Yeah, I'll do.
He didn't take into account the wind chill factor.
Exactly.
Oh, no one really does.
You never do. You gotta check that out.
I don't.
Chilly Willy.
When I say wanking it into life, he's not like they're just jacking it. He's
he
trying to
just kinda like
subtly do it. Yeah.
Waving it around.
Yeah, literally like helicopter style shit like that. Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
He is not invited to like any event just ever again.
Dickhead. Anyway.
Because apparently I control that. He's just not invited.
No, he's not invited to this. Right, where we at? Oh yeah, so in the back of the jet. So a different brand of war, like it doesn't cater the rich, and then abandon the poor, like they understood you in the back of the jet. I don't want to be insensitive here. Is that regarding to those who died in 9/11?
Don't know.
No.
In the back of the jet. I don't know what else that could be.
It doesn't count.
The back, the back
Isn't
of the jet.
that
And
some
was,
rich person or a president?
Oh, right.
You know, in Air
Private
Force
jet.
One or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Private jets.
jet. Yeah.
That makes
so I
sense.
suppose it went to
Just
jet,
wanted to
yeah.
clarify that.
Yeah.
To the bank and cashing their checks, that's bankers. And then asking you to have compassion and to have some respect. Compassion is something that's very hard to come by, even more now, I feel. So to
Yeah.
have this sort of statement back in the day, you know, very forward thinking again from Linkin Park and their content. So very good there.
No, again.
And then this I found quite interesting. So this is like towards the latter half of the song, towards the end. My dad, he's got a lot of fear, but enough pride inside not to let that show. Is that because previously in this bar, at times like this you pray, but a bomb blew up the mosque yesterday. There's bombs in the buses, bikes, roads, inside your markets, your shops, your clothes. My daddy's got a lot of fear, I know, but enough pride inside not to let that show. Is that like
Let's just point
Islamophobia, like deep seated, but he's not showing it
Or-
because he's got
or-
the respect to not do so?
Maybe so.
Because every American at that time would have had that sort of, you know, that fear.
It could just
Oh
be
yeah,
fear
they
in
still
general,
have
though.
it now, dude.
True,
Yeah,
but like even
it's-
more so back then. Like,
Oh, yeah,
hugely
absolutely. Yeah.
back then. So, but you know, saying that his dad, even though he feels that way inside, he's not going to
Yeah.
show it outwardly, which I think is, you know,
He wants to show
Somewhat
strength
commendable.
and leadership.
Yeah, I suppose that is a way to look at it. I just think it might be just a generic sort of putting on a brave face during like the tough times.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought because it came just after the mosque blew up yesterday.
Yeah.
And then the bombs in the buses, bikes, and roads. So I thought, very interesting. That's my analysis of that particular two-liner. And that's it for that. Let's move on. So,
Yeah.
anything else?
Bit of a System of a Down line there. When the rich wage war, it's the poor
Actually-
who.
Oh, I did underline that.
Bit of
to be fair.
BYOB there.
I just thought,
That's
though,
good.
wouldn't it be the opposite though of Islamophobia if it was the mosque that blew up, and he's like scared that that's happened?
No,
No, because it's the Americans blowing up the mosque in response, in my opinion. That's how I viewed that.
It depends where it was blown up because there have been like bombings in mosques by like ISIS. Depending on
That's
the
right.
country.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
But no, I again with a lot of their songs, I try to think about the actual title of the song and what they're referring to. With Hands Held High, what exactly are they referring to? Are they talking to the jets? The government we're meant to be praising? It's like, where is this related to?
It might be a bit like too metaphory, but I mean, hands held high. That's what you do if you've got a gun to your head. If you're under duress.
True.
Yeah.
Hands held high.
And
Yeah.
I guess it's a whole state that's under duress in this. Yeah.
There you go. That's maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah.
Last song, everyone. So heavy.
I actually really like this song. I never heard it until like we were doing the research.
Yeah.
I actually really like this one.
This is the
slow,
song.
slow pace.
This is the song Natalie, aka Natas, aka Wide Load, recommended to me.
Why? Yeah, of all the names. you picked
I
that
think
one.
I get it.
I'll say one story. So
No,
I got this thing
no,
from
don't
Iron
do it,
Appa,
don't do it.
which is like you could have like, you know, swim shorts printed on,
This can't go on by the
and
way.
so it got Wide Load, but in the you know, like the vehicle reversing font. Yeah, I'll cut this out.
Yeah.
Anyway,
After she helps us out, yeah.
yeah,
I don't remember Heavy being on the list of songs actually. Probably was.
it's
but
on the first one for sure.
Yeah.
I think we got different lists.
No, I gave Dimitri the same list.
Keep in
And
mind,
he added to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you
yeah,
had
yeah.
to bleed it out. Yeah.
So
I don't know what I.
heavy. So
You
heavy.
got it here if you want to look. Yeah.
As we get into heavy. So, as I've said earlier, like I've not really been into a lot of the newer stuff from Linkin Park, but Nat introduced me to this song, and I think I'd heard it a couple of times before. I think we saw it performed at the gig,
Probably.
but I didn't like it at the time. But having analysed it, I like it a lot more now.
Can you
So-
sing it?
No, I really couldn't. I've not got the voice, man.
What's the melody? What's the beat? What's the tempo? What are we saying?
It's middle of the range, I'd say. It's quite a slow somber start, and it sort of just picks up as we go along.
A B C D E F G.
I'm really not that musically inclined. But again, it's going back to their roots of mental health compared to the more political stuff that we just analysed. Opening lines are, I don't like my mind right now, stacking up problems that are so unnecessary, wish that I could slow things down, I want to let go, but there's comfort in the panic. And I really like this bit because it's like you become so accustomed to the negative thoughts, they become comfortable.
They're your ground zero, they're your status quo.
Even though they're painful, it's what you're so used to, and without it, it'd be odd. In a sense, and I found that really
we're
weird.
creatures of habit at the end of the day.
Exactly.
And sometimes if it's negative, it just keeps happening. You just kind of keep doing that day to day.
And then more mirroring. So I don't want to say this, but like it seems this is like one of the recent albums. You can sort of tell maybe Chester went down the relapse kind of.
Do you know what gave them the inspiration to? Do you know how it came about? The idea for the song.
This song.
And
is it a fun fact?
It's a fact. It's a fact.
It's
not a fun fact. It's a fact.
Okay.
But disclaimer: not fun. Don't laugh.
Not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were in the studio recording the album, or they were in some sort of rehearsal situation. So Chester walked into the room or the studio, and everyone's asking, "How are you? You okay?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm fine. And then after a few minutes, he said, "Well, actually, I'm not fine. It feels like I'm underwater. Things are heavy to me." So he's feeling sort of submerged and the weight of the water on him.
Yeah.
And that's where heavy came from. Things feel very heavy to me.
It's the right description for somebody like going through like social anxiety or depression, because you do feel there's like a weight on you. You just feel sluggish. You just don't feel as though you're capable of moving the same way that you used to.
Yeah. And it goes back to the sort of initial lyrics that we've analysed, because Paranoia comes back into the mix, thinking everything's about me.
Yeah.
I drive myself crazy. Because I can't escape the gravity I'm holding on. So it's back to those sort of same issues. So you can clearly see there's a relapse happening here. And why is everything so heavy? Holding on to thoughts that can... Because holding on to these thoughts, they just can be... They can be so heavy and draining.
Yeah.
Like it saps you sometimes.
Yeah.
So, again, very relatable lyrics for anyone going through these kind of things.
Well,
this is like Linkin Park of old.
That's the thing. Like this doesn't even
Do you not
necessarily.
think, lyrically wise though, it is very much similar content, beat for beat almost.
No, and I'm sorry, Stuart.
I was just gonna say it doesn't even necessarily have to be mental health related. This is like as generic as it can possibly be. Like everyone has. If you've got something on your mind, it can weigh very badly on you. It can affect you in a lot of ways. So this could just be like, somebody. Oh, I need to pick up the kids from school and this, that, and the other. And it's weighing on you. You've got this, that, and the other going on.
Yeah. General anxiety disorder, I think, is what it is. Yeah.
But as you're saying, you don't think this was...
what the hell, man?
This is...
Yeah, so I kind of realised at this point, this is why the newer stuff didn't really have the same effect with me. If we even go back to the first song we're looking at, In the End, like we were saying, it was very simple. It was like you can relate to it. They're not being literal. With this, it's very much easier to interpret what the artists were trying to say. At least it's general, but it's more like they were most likely talking about this. And it's like their first songs, it was like they had metaphors about time and this and that. With this, there doesn't really seem to be that much of a...
Do you think that has something to do with the pace of the song? Because this one is a lot slower than... Well, I think this is definitely slower to the songs, I think.
But maybe also the artists, like they're not... I don't want to be offensive, but not as young as they used to be. So in terms of like what they were thinking about, it was more emotive, it was more empathetic. With this, it's more literal. It's like, this is what's happening and this is what we're talking about.
But is that not just like Chester's state of mind? And does it have to be metaphorical to be
not necessarily
good quality lyrics?
No, that is a good point, but I think that's why I like the older stuff. It's like, it didn't have to tell me what it was trying to say, but I could get it from the certain themes they use. When you're talking about time, it's like you think, oh, things are running out, or it's just like, you know what, it's going too slow and this is how I'm feeling with it. With this, it was just like, okay, it's heavy.
Why is everything so heavy? I get that. I get that. I guess it is slightly more simplistic, but...
We mentioned before that like Chester's like evolution, so to speak, is quite evident in his... singing basically from every song. The earlier songs were a little bit darker. Then we had What I've Done, almost a realization that he can forgive himself. And like you did mention it, like previous songs maybe were a bit more cloudy. They had metaphors. They were a bit more up for interpretation. Whereas as he's evolved as a performer and as he's gotten to grips with his own mental health,
he's more clear.
He's concise perhaps,
which
or
is
very
good
literal.
for him.
Yeah, but maybe not so much for his art.
Yeah, and some artists perform their best when they're kind of in like a state of confusion and growth, and just it's amazing to see, because you feel as an audience that you're growing with them.
100%.
They're still going through issues, but the clarity is better. Is that not? is it not nice to see that evolution to the music? I don't feel like it cheapens it in any way, especially from a lyrical point of view.
It doesn't cheapen it, I suppose, but I don't know. This didn't have the same effect on me as the previous songs did, and yeah.
To be fair, you are making a good point, because even when I did listen to this, any of their recent stuff didn't have the same effect as their first 3 albums. Their first 3 albums, I think, is universally agreed as their best.
They came out at the right time.
Oh, absolutely. If they came out 5 years before or 5 years afterwards, they would not be who we know them to be.
Absolutely not. No, they would have been sort of swept in the whole dance sort of craze. Like they would not have even seen the light.
Skrillex.
Yeah.
But this song had a female vocalist on it,
Yes.
didn't it? So do you think that affected it?
Not to be mistaken with
Kiara.
Lion King 2's love interest.
Good reference.
We all remember that. No, I mean, when we're talking about the songs, we're always talking about Chester writing it, but obviously the other
of course,
members of the band contribute, and with Kiara, maybe she did as well. So maybe that's why it's not quite what we. I don't know.
I'm not sure if she
it's like
did.
too many cooks, maybe.
Yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen. Just throwing in more salt, keeping it basic. I don't know. I don't want to shit on the band. I love them and I love their work, but with this song, it's just like. It's okay.
When did salt become basic?
I mean, it's the base content.
In fairness,
isn't it?
I use Himalayan salt only. Guys, so
Fancy?
la-di-da. Right, let's end this because you guys need to go sleep. So, last underline I've got is
Sleep.
if I
They just sound like these robots. You flick a switch.
It's
like,
Penny Boys.
time for to be
Have some
vitalized.
sense coming up there, Ramo.
All right, cool. So, last line I've got is if I just let go, I'd be set free, which I've got arrowed to my note, which is sounds easy, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
no.
So,
It's back to I really wish the guy had sought some help.
check. You know what? Let's.
But anyway,
go down that route.
Hindsight, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because when a lot of fans, they look to this song, you know, when he did take his own life, they looked to this song as a means of explanation.
A note of some sort.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might have been people reaching though.
Yeah, I think there's always a point of reaching, but I remember telling you this at the concert. There was one song he was singing, it might have been One More Light or something, but Chester held a note for like a good 2 minutes and it was so good, but then there was a pause and he just stared off into
Oh no, we
for a
did
while.
talk about this. Like
Yeah, and
in
it was
depth
just like,
afterwards, yeah.
That
was
so,
weird.
That was so good. It was like, that felt a bit,
Too real.
it was like he was saying, okay, this is just, not even saying this is final concert, it's just like, who knows, I may retire or something like that. It was just like, dude, there was
It
so
felt
much emotion in that.
It's because he felt like he was absorbing more of a moment than usual.
Yeah, and I can't even remember the song. It was on my phone, but you know how I'm with phones. I keep on breaking phones.
So how did the crowd respond to
Everyone
it?
was
It
just
was-
screaming for ages, and we just stopped. And then
There was weird murmurings actually after the first minute,
I think
where
it
we were
was-
just sort of like, "What's going on?"
I was just impressed. He held it for so long. Like, oh damn!
Yeah.
No, but when he took the break,
Oh yeah.
took a break and we were like,
I was
okay.
doing this on like Snapchat and shit, so it's like it doesn't record for longer than a minute.
I was
right?
going to say you got over the limit, did you?
Yeah, it was still
Nice.
going. It was so great.
So
Oh, there's one line that sort of stuck out. I know I'm not the centre of the universe, but you keep spinning around me just the same. I was trying to figure that
But
out.
he does that a lot in his old stuff as well. So he said a lot previously that the thoughts. It's still all about me.
Just a big fan of Gravity, that's all he is. Massive fan. Can't
So
get
Einstein guy.
what's the line?
loves Newton.
I know I'm not the centre of the universe, but you keep spinning around me just the same.
Yeah, so he still
somebody-
thinks he is the centre, and that same thought is still spinning around. Oh, for God's sake!
Well, another joke going behind your back.
Jay-Z again.
Oh, another Jay-Z
Back
thing,
again.
right? Okay.
You guys are sly, man.
I'm sorry, but Jay-Z...
Friggin' side combo side.
You gotta watch your back, Ammo. keep that back arched.
But no, he's just going for the same sort of thing as before. Like,
Yeah.
it's all about him still. Like, when it comes to these issues, and
Someone thought it was
the same thought goes around again.
This is what happens when you
addict and codependent
This is what happens
relationship. Yeah.
when you've got 99 problems on your back.
Oh, for God's
Happens,
sake!
you know what I mean?
And the
Hey, I had to get one in for
Think it
Ryan,
won.
okay? That was a Ryan
Oh,
joke.
that's a right joke.
At least you're
Oh,
right.
we've got lore. We've got lore to the podcast already. We're like 5 episodes in. I love
You're
this
right.
shit.
I'm like,
Oh.
I'm like...
Right, I guess now it is time for
Oh, for
Final scores, yeah.
My word, yeah, it's been a while since we did
Final
this.
scores.
We rank the artist out of 10 for their lyricisms.
Oh, the lyricism.
Yeah, just the lyrics, because you've told me off before for being a bit impartial.
Yeah, man.
Or not,
Cool.
or not
Well,
impartial.
I can't say shit with this guy.
Oh,
here.
that's true. He did give Drake a 2 out of 10, which is a little bit harsh.
No,
1 out of 10. Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah.
but Drake
Little
doesn't
Dicky
do all
too.
his own lyrics. So,
I think I'm going to remark.
so he
KSI was 0.5,
True.
yeah.
So, Dad, any issues of lack of feminism,
Racism.
that is a complete.
Wait, you do that? You criticize him on the lack of feminism?
Oh, he straight up dropped
that's-
KSI to put half of a point because of all the bitches and pussy and this, that, and the other in his lyrics.
Very,
Oh,
very, very
Drake got so many points.
Very anti-women, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, if they love women so much, why do they write so much hate lyrics? It's just a very strange
Yeah.
It's out of
dichotomy.
context, though, isn't it?
Very
It's context.
strange
Me and Dad are
dichotomy.
pushing the female agenda on this podcast.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you kind of need a female to do that. Hi, ladies.
Mr. Sensitive over here.
Can a man not mansplain?
Mansplaining about mansplaining.
No, you don't understand what
let me-
mansplaining
yeah,
is.
let me
Let me
tell
tell you.
Let me tell you why you're
Can a
mad about
man
what I'm
mansplain
mad
a man?
Oh, what?
I've actually learned that women can mansplain. I was just like, that's not okay. Yeah.
Okay,
No, that
I mean
can work.
equal opportunity, but
Aren't
surely
they
that
just-
defeats the purpose.
Aren't they just explaining?
Is it woman-splaining?
Or is it
No,
woman-splaining?
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Anyway.
It hurts when I get too deep into
Yeah.
this.
Doesn't it just? So, scores. Who do I normally get? Is it
It's usually that way, I think.
true.
And then, or me, I
I'm
don't know.
No, I
always
think I go
last.
last.
always last, actually.
I go last but one then.
Yeah. So,
Last.
I'll go Stuart first. Then. Or should we get Newbie go first?
Yeah, why not? If you,
Okay,
if
Dimitri.
Newbie.
you
Yeah.
can be the you can
Address
be
me
the
by
bar
my
setter.
title, sir.
Mr. Newbie Sensitive.
Whatever.
The sensitive noob.
Okay, so the nostalgia effect is definitely there. I love the band. I love most of their stuff. Listened to it as a teenager, so it's still there with me. And I know I'll probably play some for my kids. Some of it is timeless, like we were saying. Like you can apply it to different areas of life. So I would say 7.5, 8. So can we do half scores?
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He did 0.5, didn't he? So, I guess that's established.
He's broken.
There was
it.
some pretty brutal
Scoring.
lyrics of
Okay.
KSI.
Thank God for Aretha Franklin on your one. That's the only one.
Well,
you got
actually, I
positive.
think
Yeah, didn't
I'm.
I call during that?
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Ah, law! So much of it.
I might have to review my Aretha Franklin
I'm just
score.
saying.
Oh, you
how
can't
much did you
do
give
that.
her? I'm just saying it was more
Sorry?
than
How
5.
much did you give her?
6, I think.
Yeah.
I thought you said you gave her a 0.5. It's like, no.
No,
Yeah,
that was
no.
KSI.
No, I think I might have to redo that
Yes.
in my scaling, in my scale of justice.
Yeah.
For God's sake. Go on then. Oh, who's first? So, Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Dimitri mentioned he said 7.5 to 8.
7.5.
Yeah.
Stuart.
Yeah, I hate to copy an answer, but I have to say 7.5 and 8 seems like a pretty fair score to me. I don't think they are like a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 is difficult to sort of gauge. Like to me, that would have to be like.
It's only Iron Maiden for one person.
Well, I know, yeah. But a lot of metaphors. I do love metaphors. I also like how creative they are. A lot with pacing. Like we did mention there's different tempos in all of their songs.
Yeah.
Didn't mention it before, but in the end, just simple stuff that they go outside of the bars. And it mixes with the chorus. Just something, just creative stuff like that. I enjoy when it's like in the end it starts off the chorus at the end of the verse. I enjoy that kind of thing. So very poignant. They're still going strong. 15 years, nearly 20 years since their debut. So
They're Meteora.
I'll round it up. I'll give them an 8.
Excellent.
Making me look.
Father!
Sorry.
Okay,
You're the fan as
so
well.
Yeah,
You're the
man.
critic.
obviously I'm not a fan. How do you class them? Is it grunge metal?
It's new metal. Though.
I would
New
never
metal.
say grunge.
With an NU.
And you, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't really class them as
Dash metal.
wouldn't really class
Get
them
a
as a
dash.
metal
Get a
band
dash.
myself.
Put a
But
dollar
anyway,
sign in there.
Where? Where's the S? New metals?
so compared with the artists we've done so far, refreshingly, good lyrics. They've actually thought about what they're writing about. The subject matter courses through pretty much each song, apart from the one they did, Hands Held High, which was a bit of a political one. But it all sort of, revolves around the anxiety, depression, suicide, and pretty much what's going on in Chester Bennington's head, I guess. So I have to put aside his tragic suicide, etc., and just view the lyrics.
Focus on the words.
Focus on the words. Yeah. So I would have liked to have seen more variety in terms of subject matter from them. And I think they could have done that.
Nick my point.
Oh,
sorry, carry on. Like father, like son, is it?
Yeah. So, I would have definitely liked to have seen that. I would have liked to have seen them putting a little bit more optimism to impressionable youths listening to it, because
especially
like
in
you
the later
said,
years.
Yeah, looking back,
especially
right.
in the later years, because then they know they have influence.
Yeah, definitely, because massive following, loads of their albums #1, then they've sold millions and millions. So, they've got responsibility to, not sort of pull people further down into their vortex of despair that they're in, that they might, because some people might sort of sit there and listen, read the lyrics, and they're in that dark side, and there's nooses and guns cocking and bleeding and whatever.
Yeah, it's like, what's the next step after awareness? It's trying to progress rather than drag further.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'd have liked to have seen, a little bit more on the upside.
But okay, go on.
However, sorry.
No, go on.
So I think with my scale, because I'm beginning to develop my scoring more, right? So I think I'm going to have to downgrade Aretha a little bit on this. And
hang on, I don't know if we're allowing redos.
Yeah.
You can't go back.
I got carried away with her recent.
With a 6?
What was wrong
With
with
a 6?
Aretha Franklin's lyrics?
Don't do this.
Because I can see there's other bands that I'm going to score a lot higher.
Okay.
And so it has to be relative.
Go on. You know what? There are no rules. Just do what you want.
Should be rules.
But I really do like that he's put himself out there with the whole mental health thing, and hopefully that's helped more people than it's caused harm to, shall we say. Mm-hmm. So I'll give them a 6.
Fucking hell, Dad, you are harsh, man.
He said he's not a fan, but you did enjoy some of the lyrics of the songs, right?
Yes.
You are the harshest of harsh markers. Good lord.
He's
Well,
messing up the curve. No one's getting that A-star.
That bloody bell curve is fucked up.
Wow.
Right, anyway, I'll give mine then, in that case. But good score, Dad.
I'm looking for variety.
So, you made a point there about it'd be nice to, you brought awareness to the topic. It's better to try and help bring people out of that as they go along the years. However, it's not always a straight line. And I would like it that the fact an artist has reflected their current well-being in their lyrics throughout their entire history. So, we've seen songs as like history's gone on of like, different topics, and sometimes it's been bleak, sometimes more hopeful, and then it ended with it being sadly bleak again before Chester's
sad
passing. Yeah. So I don't mind the fact that I don't judge them for going down a certain path with their lyrics in terms of going back down a dark place again. I think that's just how their mental state was in that particular moment, and I'd rather it be accurate than a false depiction of what they were going through, because I couldn't relate to them as an artist that way then.
Absolutely.
I would have been able to see in their lyrics that they were not themselves, or like they were being a fake version of themselves.
They were human.
Exactly, because human, life is all about the journey and the roller coaster, and it's full of ups and downs, and that's accurate, and I like that a lot. I relate to these lyrics a lot, as I've sort of explained here and there in the analysis that I've given. So, but the one thing I would say is that I would have liked a bit more variety throughout the hits, because the main hits have been like this, but maybe that's a sign of the culture of that time. So who am I to say that they should have been more varied in their lyricisms? It's not there. They didn't choose which of their songs were going to be hits. We've only analysed a very small portion of them.
True.
Now, the score. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really critique them for much. Like, after having analysed them, I had a few question marks over what certain things meant, like none, but now we've got that. now we've got that all clear.
It clear?
My mind is, it is. I've got it like crystal now. So, I'm thinking 9,
Okay.
Whoa.
I think that's the highest score on the podcast thus
I'm
far.
thinking 9.
Yeah.
I think I gave Aretha quite a high score as well.
Yeah,
but-
you did. 8 or something.
Yeah, I'm going to go 9 for these guys. I think they're
Okay.
very good at
Fair
what
enough.
they do.
Congratulations, Linkin Park. You're the
Yeah.
first 9 on the
And
show.
on
Yeah.
that note,
Do the scores appear above our heads or something like that?
I've done no graphics so far.
Yeah, I wanted us to do like an aggregate so that we could like combine the scores and then have them like divided by 4. But you are messing us up. Bro. You are really screwing us. I'm sorry. I can't be giving Drake like a 7 and you'd be like, nah, it's not. It's anti. It's minus 90. Like,
Yes,
you can't do this.
7 to kind of like 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's 3 to
3.5. That's not. I don't think that's fair for Drake. But
If it's
but
less
that's
than
why.
5, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We need like
bad.
an IGN scale of scoring. Like each number means a certain thing when it gets like a whole number.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think we've
I'll
only
go
had
with that.
2 so far go over the average or the mean of 5, and that's Aretha and Linkin. So we
That's
started
all
off
my
with 3
fault.
real bad ones, yeah. But yeah,
Alright, cool.
what can I say?
I will end it there. So until next time, everyone. When it comes to lyrics, look beyond the surface.